against Barcelona, and that is what Atalanta are going up against. They're going up against the name tonight. Then you sprinkle in the names, the Mohamed Salahs, Trent Alexander-Arnold, Luis Diaz, players that are capable of changing the game within the blink of an eye, and that is what will be, that is the fear that will be amongst those fans.
Well, it will be Liverpool to get us underway, playing in all red. Atalanta in their dark blue shirts, their black shorts and their black socks. Liverpool will play from left to right, and it's Szoboszlai who gets us underway. One of three changes to the side that lost to Crystal Palace. Liverpool losing back-to-back games for the first time in a year, but he's gone very strong, as you would expect tonight. Jurgen Klopp. Gakpo replacing Nunez up top. Alexander-Arnold starts for the first time in over 2 months in for the injured Conor Bradley, and Szoboszlai, as we've mentioned, he comes in for Endo. Take you through the full lineups in a moment, but Liverpool in possession on the halfway line. Atalanta have made 5 changes from their surprise league draw with struggling Hellas Verona on Monday night, as Kolasinac wins a free kick for Atalanta, the former Arsenal defender, down by the byline. Just 2 changes for Atalanta from the first leg. Kolasinac, one of those, he missed the first leg with a minor injury. He's back in for one of their goal scorers, Pasalic. And Charles de Ketelaere, who really impressed in that first leg, is only on the bench. He is replaced up top by Alexei Moranchuk. So we will take you through the full lineups in a moment. Here go Atalanta with their goalkeeper Juan Musso, who has kept his place in the Europa League once more. He started the season as number 1, but has lost that place to Karnaseki, but does retain that spot in the Europa League this season, and does so once more. Here goes Zappacosta, the former Chelsea player, down the right-hand side, well defended over on that far corner flag by Liverpool. And they will keep it in on the left-hand side as well, playing the ball around their penalty area. A little bit risky. Zappacosta closing down. Afterwards, Scamacca on Alisson, as the ball goes out to that left-hand side. And finally, the Atalanta fans behind that goal away to our left have put that banner down. So I can't tell you what it says in Italian, Stephen, unfortunately. They are still waving huge blue and white flags as they pick up the ball outside their own penalty area. Almost given away, but they will retain possession with Hien. And it's all the way back with their goalkeeper, Juan Musso, who is in goal. The back 3 for Atalanta, Jimshiti, Hien and Kolasinac, former Arsenal man. Zappacosta, formerly of Chelsea. De Roon, who used to be with Middlesbrough. Ederson and Ruggieri are their midfield 4, with Coke Miners playing behind Moranchuk and Scamacca.
Van Dijk's got a problem here. I don't know whether it's like a dislocation to his finger or something like that, but he went in for a tangle in the bottom corner, and he signalled to the bench, and he just said straight away, he put his hand up and he said, "You're going to have to come on now." And you can see him now, he's turning away, and it does look like a dislocation to the finger, which isn't a major problem. They'll just click it back in and he should be fine.
Yeah, Jurgen Klopp is grimacing down there on the sidelines and grabbing his hand. I think he's asking the medical staff to confirm what's happened. Not showing close-ups because it is a horrible injury to look at. But as you say, hopefully not too serious in terms of Van Dijk being able to continue. Aston Villa's game is into extra time against Lille. It's half-time. Let's get an update. Charlie Slater.
It's half-time in extra time, as you say. Lille 2, Villa 1 on the night. Still 3-all on aggregate. Another 15 minutes left before penalties will decide which side will go through to the semi-finals of the Conference League.
Thanks very much, Charlie. So Van Dijk has received treatment. He's jogging over to the far side because the medical staff have come on, so we'll have to wait for our referee from France, Francois Letexier, to gesture that he can come back on, as the Atalanta fans behind that goal away to our left are still singing and waving those huge, enormous flags. There were much smaller blue and white ones as the players came out. Everybody had one, it looked like, but now 20 or so huge flags emblazoned with club slogans and the club crests, all blue and white, are waving constantly behind that goal as Liverpool head the ball up towards halfway. 3.5 minutes gone. Goalless here on the night in Bergamo. Atalanta lead 3-0 on aggregate as Van Dijk makes his way back onto the field of play. And Trent Alexander-Arnold has this throw for Liverpool. Takes it right in front of Atalanta's manager, Gianpiero Gasparini. The longest serving manager currently in Serie A. He's been in charge since 2016. And is a huge, huge heartbeat of this club. The Scamacca plays the ball into the penalty area, score of that brace in the first leg. Gianluca Scamacca, the former West Ham man. And Liverpool steer the ball all the way back to Alisson, who is in goal for them. Alexander-Arnold, Konate, Van Dijk and Robertson ahead of him.
What a ball.
As they come down the left-hand side, Liverpool never apologise for telling us about a Liverpool attack, because they need to attack. Into the penalty area they go, over the head of Gakpo. Szoboszlai heads it back across to the 6-yard box. Cleared away by Atalanta. Alexander-Arnold wins the corner. No, penalty! Penalty given. Handball against Ruggieri. The Liverpool fans away in the corner to our right shouted for it immediately, and the French referee Francois Letexier agreed. Points to the spot immediately. Could this be the perfect start for Liverpool? 5 minutes gone, they have a penalty. We do have VAR, they'll double check, but he was very decisive there, the French official.
Yeah, I mean, Trent Alexander-Arnold starts the whole move, and he just hits this magnificent diagonal from the quarterback position. He finds himself in between the two centre-backs. That starts the attack. Long ball over the top to Luis Diaz. Diaz then cuts inside onto his right foot. He swings it over into the box. It's headed back across by Szoboszlai, and Atalanta think they've cleared it. Trent Alexander-Arnold then finds himself in the right wing-back position, crosses the ball, and Ruggieri handballs it, and it has gone to VAR. They are looking at it now, but this could be a huge lifeline for Liverpool.
6 minutes gone. Penalty's been given, as Stephen says. VAR are having a look. And the whistles around the Stadio di Bergamo are because that's up on the screen. They know that VAR are checking it. And the Liverpool fans are singing once more.
They give it, I think, Vicki.
Yeah, the referee is gesturing the players out of the penalty area. Check over, the penalty will stand. And Mohamed Salah takes the ball and places it on the spot. Huge moment this for Liverpool early on, to pull a goal back and make it 3-1 on aggregate. 1-0 they would lead on the night. It would be the dream start for Jurgen Klopp's side as they look to pull off another remarkable European comeback. Juan Musso bounces on his line for Atalanta. Salah steps back to the edge of the penalty area. Straight onto the ball, now he goes to the right and strikes it into the corner, and Liverpool get off to the perfect start at the Stadio di Bergamo. 1-0 they lead on the night. Is the comeback on? 3-1 Atalanta on aggregate, and that has taken the wind right out of the sails of the Atalanta fans, and the flags away to our left. 15 or so of them have dropped down as the home fans now raise their voices once more. But Stephen Warnock, as the Liverpool fans away to our right raise their voices, couldn't have started much more perfectly this game for Liverpool.
No, it couldn't have. One of the players that we spoke about before the game who could potentially have a huge influence has just had one, Trent Alexander-Arnold. I kept my eye on a guy, Vicki, as Mohamed Salah was taking the penalty, a Liverpool fan. He couldn't watch it. He turned his back, and then the adulation when it went in, and he just saw everyone else celebrating. But Mohamed Salah's penalty was perfect. He sent the goalkeeper the wrong way, stroked it into the bottom right, the goalkeeper's bottom left, and that is a great start for Liverpool.
His last one, of course, was a big one to salvage a point against Manchester United. He scored a big one here, Mo Salah, as Liverpool hit the front early on the night. 2 more goals to level the tie on aggregate as they play the ball into the area, and here the centre half clears it away for Atalanta not once but twice, heads it forward up towards the halfway line. And now how Atalanta's nerves come into play will be key.
Well, that's what we spoke about before the game. If Liverpool can get an early goal, what will it do to that crowd? It'll make them nervous, it'll make the players nervous, they'll start to worry. But Vicki, the difference between last week and this week is tempo, is the speed in which Liverpool are moving the ball, in which they're closing down, and they're in again.
Here they go, just too much on that ball from Salah for Szoboszlai. Musso came right out to the edge of his penalty area and managed to keep the ball inside, as he claimed, ahead of Szoboszlai.
One of the big things that Liverpool struggled with last week was man-to-man marking. They didn't know how to deal with it. They needed to be better individually. What they're doing now, straight away, is rotation. And it was very interesting. Van Dijk picked the ball up, and with his hands, he gestured, sort of crossing his hands across as if to say, you've got to move them out of position and give us an option to play forward.
9 minutes gone. Liverpool lead 1-0 thanks to that Mohamed Salah penalty. 3-1 to Atalanta on aggregates in this Europa League quarter-final here on BBC Radio 5 Live and BBC Radio Merseyside. The ball goes out to the left-hand side. He is fouled by Cody Gakpo, and the free kick is given to Atalanta, who take it quickly and they win another foul. McAllister with the challenge on Moranchuk that time. And Atalanta send the ball back into their own half. Forward now, laid off by Coke Miners. And Moranchuk plays it out to the right-hand side. Thumps clear at the back for Liverpool. And might turn into a good ball over the top, but well defended by Hean. And Musso sends the ball out to the left-hand side. Here is Ruggieri, whose handball has given Liverpool that early penalty as Edison goes down. And it will be a free kick to Atalanta, who just wants a little bit more punishment than the set piece, but it will just be the free kick just inside the Liverpool half on the left-hand side.
Well, that's 4 or 5 fouls that Liverpool have given away now from pressing. And what that does is it just disrupts the flow of Atalanta. They didn't do that last week. They allowed Atalanta to get on the ball freely, to play through them. And you can tell that's a big difference, something that they've spoke about throughout the week leading into this game.
They're in possession, Atalanta over on the far side. Long ball over the top will be chased by Zappacosta, headed away by Virgil van Dijk, and Robertson should be able to help clear it. Liverpool play it back towards their own penalty area. Van Dijk now to Alisson, who takes the touch and clears long up towards halfway, and Salah headed away powerfully by Kolasinac, former Arsenal man. And now Edison dinks it forward. Good ball looking for Coke Miners, chased by Konate. Coke Miners will pick it up down by the byline, but just lets the ball run under his yellow boot, and it's out of play for a Liverpool goal kick. Elsewhere in the Europa League quarter-finals, West Ham against Bayer Leverkusen is still goalless. Bayer Leverkusen, newly crowned German champions, of course, leading that by 2-0. And it remains in the second half of extra time. Lille 2, Aston Villa 1 on the night, 3-3 on aggregate in the Europa Conference League quarter-final. The ball is played into Salah on the edge of the centre circle. Kolasinac challenges him, no free kick given. Salah stayed down. Ball runs under the foot of Schumacher, and Alexander-Arnold will clear it all the way back to Alisson, who clears up long towards halfway. Salah's up, but he's limping. And Atalanta pick it up once more. Here is Ruggieri, has 2 red shirts with him, plays it off Alexander-Arnold, but Szoboszlai shouldn't, does get there, prevents the corner, very calmly done. Plays it back to Alexander-Arnold on the right-hand side. Lovely crossfield pass to Luis Diaz, bounces off his chest, but it's brought down by Curtis Jones, and out to the left-hand side now goes Andy Robertson. Looks for the delivery to Gakpo, lovely back heel, flag stays down. Diaz, brilliant save by Musso, and cleared away by Hean. What a gorgeous move by Liverpool. Diaz in, excellent goalkeeping by Musso to deny him, but Liverpool come forward once more, leading 1-0. 3-1 they trail on aggregate with 12 minutes gone here in Italy, as the shot is driven in by Szoboszlai. Straight at Musso, who gathers.
Well, you've just got a player who can change the game. He can change the dynamic of an attack, and that's Trent Alexander-Arnold. A ball that isn't really on, a switch of play into Diaz. Suddenly Liverpool are on the attack, and it's a gorgeous 1-2 between him and Gakpo. Gakpo slips him back in. Credit to the goalkeeper Musso, though. He's so alive to the situation, so quick, but the danger signs are there again.
Here goes Robertson, plays it down the left-hand side for Luis Diaz, who's well marshalled by the Albanian centre-half Jim Sheety. Plays it back to Musso, close down by Gakpo. Musso clears up towards halfway. A little push there by Van Dijk on Moranchuk, but play continues. Atalanta still in possession. Zappacosta up against Robertson. Zappacosta's early delivery all the way across the penalty area. Nobody there. Let's head for an update from West Ham. Alistair Bruce Ball.
West Ham 0, Leverkusen 0. West Ham can't afford to concede first. 2-0 down from the first leg. They nearly did. Fabianski at full stretch to deny Nathan Tella. Other than that, Danny Gabidon, encouraging start by West Ham.
They've been the better of the 2 teams. The way they started the game, all the talk before the game was how would West Ham go about this tactically. They tried to be aggressive on the front foot, looking to press Leverkusen, who haven't really got into their stride yet, haven't been allowed to. But in saying that, have the best chance of the game.
Goodness me, what a scare. So goalless in the early stages at West Ham, but Stephen Warnock, we saw some shaky Liverpool defending and then some in the first leg, and we saw some there. Flag went up in the end. Ball was just about scrambled away by Liverpool, but Atalanta almost into the area and scoring to level on the night and go 4-1 up on aggregate.
Yeah, poor play by Szoboszlai. A really silly ball. He plays it square into midfield and allows Atalanta to get on the attack. Magnificent save from Alisson. But do not give them that opportunity to feel like they can get into this game, because Liverpool have dominated it so far.
And Liverpool lead by 1-0. 3-1 Atalanta have the tie on aggregates. 14 minutes gone here in Bergamo in Italy as Szoboszlai plays it in field to Alexander-Arnold, but he's lost it. Liverpool in possession on the halfway line. Goal at the London Stadium. Alistair Bruce ball.
Listen to that, the London Stadium comes alive. West Ham score first. Brilliant ball from Jarrod Bowen, headed in by Michail Antonio. So West Ham get the early lead. 13 minutes played. They lead Leverkusen 1-0 on the night. 2-1 to Leverkusen on aggregate. The West Ham fans believe.
Here come Liverpool trying to slide Luis Diaz through inside the penalty area. Atalanta clear, but it's picked up once more by Trent Alexander-Arnold, who plays it back to halfway, and Canate. Let's get an update from Lille. Charlie Slater.
3.5 minutes remaining of extra time still. Lille 2, Villa 1, 3-3 on aggregate. Matty Cash might have got lucky a few moments ago. Ball seemed to strike his arm, but there was a VAR check for a penalty, and they waved play on. We're heading for penalties.
Thanks very much, Charlie. We'll keep you right up to date with that Europa Conference League quarter-final here on 5 Live. As Derone picks it up for Atalanta. Moranchuk on the halfway line, surrounded by red shirts, and he's almost dispossessed. Moranchuk then goes down, he is dispossessed. The referee doesn't blow his whistle and Liverpool come forward, but it's a poor ball by Gakpo. A sliding Jim Sheety will reach it before Diaz and clear out a play for a Liverpool throw.
The movement's brilliant, it really is, from Liverpool, because what they're understanding is this man-to-man marking system. Mohamed Salah in the first leg just stayed wide. He just said to the fullback, this is where I'm staying all game. Now he's wandering, now he's disappearing across onto that left-hand side. Diaz is now finding space in behind because there's a lack of understanding of who to pick up from Atalanta and the spaces it's leaving. Really good from Liverpool.
Alisson has the ball just outside his own penalty area. The Atalanta fans have found their voice once more. A few more of those enormous blue and white flags are flying away to our left, but they're not jumping anymore, they're not bouncing. They still lead by 3-1 on aggregate, but Liverpool 1-0 up on the night, and they know Liverpool's history, they know Liverpool's pedigree, but they are backing their side vociferously, looking to reach the semi-finals of the Europa League for the very first time against a side who've won this competition 3 times back when it was the UEFA Cup, but are looking to win it for the first time under Jurgen Klopp in his final season. As Liverpool come forward, too much on that for Luis Diaz, and Kolasinac will see that ball out of play. How would you assess Atalanta's response to that early Liverpool penalty from Salah?
Nervous. I think they are. They do look nervous. They haven't been able to really get any possession. They haven't been able to track the Liverpool runners. It was just interesting then. I was watching the ball as Dominic Szoboszlai tried to play in Diaz, and Jurgen Klopp just said to him, just relax. Don't try and force it too early, and that is exactly what they've got to do now, is just try and just relax and play their own game, because they've got themselves into a great position very early on in this game.
They lead 1-0, 18 minutes gone, plenty of time to score those at least 2 goals required that would level up the tie. No away goals, of course, in European competition, as there haven't been for a few years now. They do need to score at least twice more, Liverpool, if this is not to be Jurgen Klopp's final European game in charge of Liverpool. As Alisson comes up to the edge of the centre circle and plays it forward out to the left-hand side. Header is won by Jim Sheety and picked up by Zappacosta, who has put in a real shift so far as he draws the foul. The former Chelsea man, 31 years of age, but really getting forward down that right-hand side when he has the option to. But at the moment, pinned back the blue shirts by Liverpool.
Yeah, just looking at Jurgen Klopp again, he's now having a word with Alisson. Alisson ended up beyond Canate and Virgil van Dijk on the pitch on the halfway line, playing a ball over, and Jurgen Klopp was saying, just pass it, don't try and dink it into Luis Diaz, because that suits the Atalanta players.
Here goes Salah, close control is excellent, well pressured by Kolasinac, who'd stepped up from that back 3 there, as Liverpool work it out to the left-hand side.
It's lazy.
A poor ball, and Cope Miners picks it up, and here goes Moranchuk outside the area. Scamacca 20 yards out, dinks it through. Moranchuk into the area, touch just let him down, and Alisson gathers on the edge of the 6-yard box. But once again, as we did in the first leg, you have to praise the movement from Atalanta there.
Well, you praise it, but it comes from sloppy play by Liverpool, and it's Diaz again. You saw it before with Szoboszlai, who played a square pass into midfield, and it's capitalised. That's what they're waiting for, Atalanta.
Ball too strong for Luis Diaz over on that left-hand side. He applauds it, but straight out of play for an Atalanta throw. So, elsewhere in the Europa League, West Ham, as we've heard from Ali, have got a goal at at the London Stadium against Bayer Leverkusen. So the newly crowned German champions leading that 2-1 on aggregate. That also an 8 o'clock kickoff. Roma have taken the lead against AC Milan. So they now lead that tie 2-0 on aggregate. And it's goalless between Marseille and Benfica, who will play the winners of this tie. Benfica leading 2-1 on aggregate. In the closing stages of Aston Villa's game at Lille. In fact, it's full time in extra time in France. Charlie Slater.
It's finished. Lille 2, Villa 1. That's 3-3 on aggregate, and we will need the agony, the ecstasy, the drama of a penalty shootout to separate the two sides. John Duran for Villa nearly won it with seconds remaining of extra time. Another brilliant save from the keeper. Here come penalties.
A dramatic European night is well underway here on 5 Live as Liverpool play the ball into the area. So Bosley almost got there. Musso was covering that post and claims. But he's made a couple of good runs like that, Sir Bosley.
Yeah, he has, and it's because of Trent Alexander-Arnold who's on the ball, because as we spoke before the game, he's the player that can see it but also can execute it, and he found Szoboszlai there, but I don't quite think he believed he could get much on it and get the cross in. But again, they're causing Atalanta so many problems.
They lead Liverpool by a 1-0 here on 5 Live and Radio Merseyside. 3-1 Atalanta lead on aggregate, 20 minutes played here in Bergamo in northern Italy as the free kick goes the way of Liverpool just inside the Atalanta half. And Van Dijk sends it out to this left-hand side.
Vicki, I can't keep my eyes off the game, but I can't also get away from that smell. The food, my word, it smells incredible.
If you do want to wander off, Stephen, I'm happy just to hold it for 5 minutes or so.
Well, they're in again, Liverpool now.
Yeah, can't take your eyes off this, despite those smells, as Szoboszlai plays it back to the edge of the penalty area. Here's Alexander-Arnold, plays it to the far post, headed back across. Salah won't quite latch onto it, and it's cleared away by Jim Sheety. Not necessarily the right decision by Curtis Jones there, who headed it back to Salah as the huge roars are as Scamacca goes down under pressure on the halfway line, but the referee is not interested. And Alisson has the ball just outside his penalty area. Has
to head it back across goal. He tries to find the one player on the edge of the box, and it's the easy one to intercept for Atalanta. There was 3 players bearing in on goal for Liverpool, and it was the wrong decision from Curtis Jones. But again, positive signs from Liverpool.
And they play it forward to Alexander-Arnold, who's cut into central midfield from that right-back position. And now Robertson picks it up. The ball is all the way back with Alisson on the edge of his penalty area. Those blue and white flags emblazoned with club slogans and the crest of Atalanta wave constantly behind him as he plays the ball long, looking for Jones. It was through the centre, cleared away by Kolasinac. Only as far as Ibrahima Konate as Jurgen Klopp stands with his hands clasped behind his back. Now he's pointing to where he wants Konate to play the ball. And now comes to have a word with Gakpo as he drifts over to that right-hand side. Jones at the moment is playing through the centre for Liverpool. Now he's pointing to Bosley to that position. Ruggieri goes with him. Ruggieri, who's handball inside the opening minutes, gave Liverpool the chance to take the lead on the night here on 5 Live and Radio Merseyside. Salah making no mistake with the penalty from the spot. 24th goal of the season. Liverpool lead 1-0 on the night. 3-1 they trail on aggregate as they dink it forward, looking for Diaz again down that left-hand side. Atalanta intercept, but then they've given it away. So does Gakpo in turn, and the ball's all the way back with Musso.
Just really clever. So Mohamed Salah then went into... Atalanta are coming forward.
Moranchuk picks it up. He was well blocked off there by Robertson, but does still have it, Moranchuk. Midway through the Liverpool half, sends it out to the right-hand side, and Zappacosta closed down by Luis Diaz back there defending for Liverpool. So Atalanta have it all the way on the halfway line. Stephen Warnock.
Yeah, so as I was saying, Mohamed Salah goes into almost the centre-back position, taking Kolasinac with him down there. And what he's saying is that leave a midfielder to go up against a midfielder in a forward position. They don't want to be defenders midfielders, so they don't want to sit in the centre-half position. So it's really, really good movement. And then what it's allowing is Gakpo and Diaz to join in off that front line.
Atalanta with the throw, just about level with the edge of the Liverpool penalty area. They're claiming a handball inside the area. Cope Miner's big shout. Referee not interested. It's gone out for an Atalanta throw. Now he's waving his arms. I think he's going to say, go on, get on with it. So VAR must have been happy. Ball into the Liverpool penalty area is cleared away. And Atalanta pick it up on halfway.
Well, the whistles soon stop, don't they? Because they know it's been looked at by VAR. So that quashes everything straight away.
Very confident there. It would have been a very quick check. Bit of a question about where the offence happened as well. As Trent Alexander-Arnold picks the ball up for Liverpool, Jones plays it back to Van Dijk, who sends it out to this left-hand side, and Robertson. Alexander-Arnold was making that centre-forward run that time, but Robertson delayed the pass, and Canate will steer it bouncing all the way back to Alisson.
It's been very, very well controlled from Liverpool, and that is the big thing, is that they've got an idea of how to break this Atalanta team down. I think the one thing that Jurgen Klopp will be disappointed with in this first half is just a little bit of sloppy passing, and that has at times allowed Atalanta to break on Liverpool.
We'll be heading to West Ham shortly, but Liverpool are charging forward. Salah down the left-hand side, 2 blue shirts with him, one of them Zappacosta. Diaz picks it up, and now Curtis Jones once more. Robertson joining the attack, and Diaz now 25 yards out, curls the ball to Salah, who plays it back to Canate, just outside the centre circle as the momentum trains away to the London Stadium. Alistair Bruce ball.
West Ham have got the stadium jumping, and the German champions rattled. They lead Leverkusen 1-0. They trail 2-1 on aggregate. They've had further chances. Mohamed Kudus with a deflected shot, well saved, and Michail Antonio with a weak header saved as well. West Ham 1, Leverkusen 0, 2-1 Leverkusen on aggregate.
Liverpool have given the ball away outside the Atalanta penalty area. Atalanta oblige immediately. Moranchuk kicks the ball straight out of play for a Liverpool throw midway through the Atalanta half. Liverpool lead 1-0 on the night here in Italy. Atalanta still 3-1 up on aggregate. Here come Liverpool down the left-hand side. Curtis Jones well marshalled though, and sends it back to Virgil van Dijk. Have we seen a response from Liverpool this evening? I mean, we mentioned earlier, Stephen, you know, they hadn't lost at Anfield before the first leg since February 2023. Then they lost to Crystal Palace. Back-to-back home defeats for the first time since March 2021, and that was behind closed doors. If you want to talk about back-to-back home defeats in front of fans, you have to go all the way back to January 2017. And Alisson, who's on the ball now just on the edge of his penalty area, said in his press conference yesterday, you know, we can't make the mistake of making these 2 defeats bigger than they are, but they have been big. They have been huge for Liverpool's European hopes, for their Premier League hopes. How much of a response are we seeing tonight in terms of the overall performance as well as the scoreline?
Oh, I think it's been a huge difference in performance. I think the passing's been better. Yes, there's been a couple of sloppy passes, but the intensity, the speed in which they're closing down, the ideas that they've got, that this will be night and day to these Atalanta players and also the fans as well.
Liverpool have given the ball away. Here comes Cope Miners racing towards the Liverpool penalty area. Moranchuk picks it up now on the right-hand side. Looping ball across, goes right out of the box. Cope Miners will retain possession for Atalanta. Down by that corner flag, plays the ball in, little deflection, takes it into the arms of Alisson.
Yeah, Atalanta breaking, but breaking with not real that much intent. Only really 3 players broke the lines and went for the attack. Liverpool make it a sloppy pass again, and Atalanta are coming forward.
On the edge of the penalty area, low shot driven across the goal by Moranchuk. I think Alisson had it covered, but Skamaka had a real air shot on the edge of the penalty area when Atalanta were getting those blue shirts into good positions before Moranchuk dragged it across goal. They do look dangerous when they counter, just as they did at Anfield.
They do, because of the way that Liverpool are interchanging, and that midfielders and full-backs are almost ended up in centre-forward positions, and that's a risk that you take when you're 3-0 down in the leg, or 3-1 now. But even at the start of the game, they knew they had to take risks, and they were willing to do it.
28 minutes gone here in Italy on 5 Live and Radio Merseyside. Liverpool getting off to the perfect start in their pursuit of their latest great European comeback. They've given a free kick away though, just inside their own half, and Atalanta will have a set piece. 1-0 to Liverpool on the night, 3-1 Atalanta lead on aggregate, and those fans are starting to bounce again. The goal away to our left, that packed stands, a sea of blue with the blue and white flags waving. And, you know, from an Atalanta perspective, you know, the early goal from Salah, they haven't crumbled, they haven't folded, and it is still just the 1-0 to Liverpool, albeit Liverpool completely dominant.
Yeah, well, I'd say it's arguably come from the last couple of attacks and a couple of mistakes that Liverpool have made, and that's all that can that's what sometimes all it needs to change a crowd.
Here come Atalanta, Ruggieri down the left-hand side, ball into the penalty area, headed away by Van Dijk. Penalties have begun in Lille, Charlie Slater.
Where Aston Villa are leading by 2-1 in the shootout. Ollie Watkins and Yuri Tielemans have scored. Bentaleb had his saved by Emi Martinez, who's up to his usual antics. He'd been booked in the game. The referee went to give him a second yellow in the shootout and then seemed to wave it away. Villa are about to take their third penalty now. Matty Cash, they're on top in the shootout. They're leading by 2-1.
Bit of goalkeeping antics here as well. Musso coming halfway through his own half to clear away from Salah, but he did do so. Moranchuk's gone down. Free kick is given. And again, the Atalanta fans all around the stadium, and one rather vociferous gentleman right behind us would like a yellow card for that. They're not going to get it. They are going to get a free kick, and they take it from the edge of the centre circle, which isn't really where the foul happens. It's a little bit further back, and the referee says, oh, go on then, get on with it, as they come down the left-hand side. Skamaka's ball ricochets away from Ruggieri. If it hadn't, he was in there, but Gakpo could be in. Down the other end, Gakpo towards the penalty area. He getting back, Jim Sheety as well. Liverpool red shirts arriving. Salah tries to play it into Diaz, and that is an outstanding sliding interception from Berat Jim Sheety. A goal-saving interception, because if he doesn't make that, he doesn't get there, and he does. Diaz is in, and surely that's 2-0 Liverpool. The ball is with Musso.
Well, Trent Alexander-Arnold's just hit one of the passes of the season again. It's just like a daisy cutter as he drills it through the middle of two centre-backs into the run of Gakpo, and Gakpo does so well because he fronts the defender up, knows he's got Diaz coming around him, plays it into Salah, and Salah spotted that run from Diaz. But credit to the Atalanta players, they see the danger, they sense it, and they snuff it out. But that is the quality that Liverpool have going forward.
Here is Alisson on the edge of his own penalty area. Liverpool leading 1-0 on the night here in Italy on 5 Live and Radio Merseyside. 3-1. Atalanta still have the advantage on aggregate in this Europa League quarter-final tie, as Liverpool pick up the ball on the left-hand side. Robertson in field to Jones, well closed down by Derone, the captain, and it's all the way back with Alisson. Atalanta, who have won just 3 of their last 11 games in all competitions. That includes that outstanding performance in the first leg against Liverpool. They've only kept 2 clean sheets in that time as well, including at Anfield, as the ball goes all the way through to Musso in the penalty area. Clean sheets, conversely, for Liverpool have also been hard to come by. None in their last 9, but they haven't been breached so far this evening. 1-0 they lead, 3-1 down on aggregate. As Musso in lemon yellow, the Atalanta goalkeeper launches it long. It's headed forward by Alexis McAllister. Ian will watch that all the way back to Musso once more.
The rotation again from the Liverpool forwards, making sure that they're organised out of both in and out of possession, making sure that they press this Atalanta backline. But they've been so much more competitive when the ball's gone up top, Liverpool. Last week they were so passive in the way that they played.
Here
Has to be offside, surely.
Though. Zappacosta flag does go up. Stephen Warnock, you were never worried.
Well, I just don't understand. Just put the flag up nice and early. You've got McAllister and Zappacosta going for a ball, and you think, if he pulls his hamstring now, it's such a silly decision.
Let's head back to Charlie. He's watching Lille against Aston Villa in the penalty shootout.
The shootout is level. After 4 penalties, it's 3 apiece. Leon Bailey has just had his missed. It is 3-3. We are into the last 2 penalties.
Drama, drama, drama on 5 Live. How are your nerves, Aston Villa fans?
Mine aren't great, no. Ex-Villa player, I'm worried. I'm thinking, come on Villa, get through.
A reminder at the London Stadium in their Europa League quarter-final. West Ham are leading by Leverkusen by a goal to 0. So Leverkusen, the newly crowned German champions, 2-1 up on aggregate. And here in Italy, 1-0 Liverpool on the night, as Gakpo won't reach that ball. Jim Sheety raising a hand of apology, didn't quite clear it. Got a tiny touch on it, and it has spun out of play. Well, I'm not sure he's impressed with that. I think he's saying he didn't get anything on that. I think he's just saying it's a terrible clearance.
He did, but he's not a very good. He's not got a very good poker face.
Here come Liverpool down the left-hand side. Diaz is in the centre. So is Robertson. Poor delivery in though from Gakpo, and Cope Miners intercepts, and Moranchuk will try and bring it down the right-hand side. And the ball goes out of play. Liverpool throw, and Liverpool have it on the halfway line. Forward now to Luis Diaz. Szoboszlai making the run through the centre. Liverpool still keep it on the halfway line. Now it's Konate getting forward. Every player bar Alisson inside the Atalanta half. As Liverpool look to add to the one goal they've scored on the night so far. They need to score at least twice more here on 5 Live and Radio Merseyside with 10 minutes to go until half-time as they work the ball back to Virgil van Dijk. Plays the ball over the top, looking for the run of Jones inside the penalty area, checks back and then just has it taken off his toes by Jim Sheety and cleared away by Zappacosta.
Joe, it's brilliant by Curtis Jones, and he takes it down on his chest and he chops, but there's no one else in the box, and you're thinking, where's the commitment to get there, help him out?
Here is McAllister. Liverpool on the halfway line. It's all over at Lille. Charlie Slater.
And Aston Villa are through to their first European semi-final since 1982. Emi Martinez, their hero in a shootout once more. He's saved the penalty of the Lille captaining Benjamin Andre down to his left-hand side. Again, Martinez is the taunt of all of French football. Villa are through. They've won the shootout. A historic evening for Aston Villa.
Wow, what drama, and a big punch of the air for the former Villa man Stephen Warnock to my right. His thoughts in a moment as Liverpool come forward. Alexander-Arnold won't latch onto that inside the penalty area. Goal kick Atalanta. What a result, what a moment for Aston Villa.
Incredible, absolutely incredible. Such a difficult place to go and try and get a result, and then you've got that moment where you think, OK, we get to penalties, and it's almost like the look of the draw, but you've got Martinez in goal. What a phenomenal figure he is in front of you. Such a huge character as well. Big belief in him, but the job Unai Emery's done since he's gone in at Aston Villa, quite incredible.
So Villa through to the Europa Conference League semi-finals. Liverpool ahead here in Italy, 1-0 on the night, but still trailing in the tie, 3-1 on aggregate as Alisson has the ball in the penalty area. What news of West Ham at the London Stadium? Alistair Bruce Ball.
Still lead Leverkusen 1-0. 10 minutes remaining in the first half. Tensions have boiled over on and off the field. I think Billy McKinley, part of the West Ham coaching staff, has been shown a red card. It kicked off in the technical area between the two benches. Mikhail Antonio and Jonathan Tah also involved in an altercation on the field. What about the football, Danny Gabardon? West Ham playing well.
They've been superb, doing exactly what they need to do. Energy, aggression on the front foot, and this Leverkusen team are rattled, ABB. They really are. They don't like it. Could easily be 2-2.
Antonio scored the first, very nearly got a touch to another Bowen cross for the second moments ago. West Ham 1, Leverkusen 0, 2-1 to Leverkusen on aggregate.
So West Ham putting up a real fight at the London Stadium. Aston Villa already through. What can Liverpool do here? They got off to the perfect start, that Salah penalty inside the opening moments. And since then, they've dominated as the ball is all the way through with Juan Musso. But in terms of clear saves that Musso has had to make since then,
well, he's done a couple of things where he's been out of his goal and he's been high up the pitch because he knows that ability that Liverpool have to play the ball over the top. So he's become a sweeper and he's done that extremely well. If he hadn't have, Liverpool would have been in twice. So very good goalkeeping from the Atalanta goalkeeper Musso.
We've had an excellent interception, a couple of them actually by Jim Sheety, a particularly vital one to stop Luis Diaz getting in. He would have been, you would think, nailed on to score as Liverpool come forward once more, even by the chances they've missed in recent weeks. It would have been a huge one as Szoboszlai won't keep that in, and it goes out of play for an Atalanta goal kick. 8 minutes to go until the break here on 5 Live and Radio Merseyside. Liverpool leading 1-0 on the night, 3-1 Atalanta still ahead on aggregate. Stephen Warnock.
They'd love another goal just before half-time, Liverpool. If they can get one, that'd be the perfect scenario for them going into half-time. However, just by winning 1-0 at half-time, it makes, it's still a good team talk for Jurgen Klopp. He still gives the team belief when they go in. And like you say, Vicky, some of it's been last-ditch defending, and that's a good sign from Liverpool.
7 minutes to go until half-time, and Musso's just been told off for time-wasting, the Atalanta goalkeeper, for the first time. He might be called into action here. Salah in behind, goes for the chip, sends it wide. Huge opportunity for Mo Salah, and those are the sort of huge chances that Liverpool have been missing of late. Will that come back to haunt them here in Italy? Huge opportunity for Salah, and he slaps his hands together in frustration. He's already scored from the spot. A player of his quality looking for his 25th goal of the season. You would expect him to dink that over Musa, who came, changed his mind, went back. It was set up perfectly for Mo Salah, and he sent the chip wide.
A simple ball over the top, and he shanks it. It comes off his shin, and that is not good enough. I mean, that is a great opportunity for Mohamed Salah just to pass it over the goalkeeper, and it is. It's a simple pass. It's not a difficult chance for a player of Mohamed Salah's quality. Has to score, and that would have made it 2-0 just before half-time, and that would have put big pressure on Atalanta. However, Vicky, the signs are still there. They're still causing this team huge problems.
Gakpo has the ball on the halfway line, well marshalled by Ruggieri, and it's one of those that Musa inadvertently has done absolutely everything he can to make that the easiest chance for Salah, as Kobe Miners steals the ball from Alexander-Arnold on the edge of the penalty area, and Alisson has to slide in and win that challenge and clear the ball away as the Atalanta fans raise their voice once again. They have a throw over on the far side. What was he doing there, Alexander-Arnold? Complete loss of concentration, almost so costly for Liverpool as Atalanta come forward once again into the penalty area, and they have equalised on the night, or they have not. Kobe Miners is flagged offside, and VAR will now check the celebrations cut short here at the Stadio de Bergamo. Will they rev up once again? But sloppy play all round in the last 60 seconds from Liverpool at the back.
Yeah, it really was sloppy, and they get away with this. Konate's very deep in this situation. He's clearly offside, 2 or 3 yards offside. Liverpool are back on the ball, back in play. But that's the thing that can change a game. Sloppy play. Don't give them the opportunity to find confidence back into this game.
Long ball over the top from Van Dijk will be pursued by Robertson. Steered back to Musso, the Atalanta keeper, who clears long over the halfway line. But if we talk about Liverpool's recent form, and it goes back to Alisson, and again we remind ourselves of his words in the press conference yesterday, you know, not to make this recent form bigger than it is. But we have, as well as seeing some good play, some good tempo, some good pressing, certainly an improvement from the first leg, as well as seeing that penalty from Salah, we have seen a big chance missed, and we have seen some complacent defending at the back.
Yeah, complacent passing more than anything that leads Liverpool to be last-ditch defending, and that's exactly what Jurgen Klopp will be disappointed with. He'll be saying to the players, if you clean that up, we stand a chance of winning this game, and then we stand a chance of getting a clean sheet as well. That gives us that foundation to go on and win.
So 3 minutes to go until half-time here in northern Italy. Aston Villa through on penalties against Lille after a 3-3 draw on aggregate to the Europa Conference League semi-finals. And West Ham leading by Leverkusen 1-0 on the night, trailing 2-1 on aggregate. Now, handball has been given, a yellow card has been shown, and a free kick to Liverpool running through. And I think Liverpool are saying, well, exactly where is the positioning of the rest of that Atalanta defence? Could that potentially be a red card for a denial of a clear goal-scoring opportunity? Let's see. Salah plays it over the top. Ooh, let's see. They do have other defenders back there. It's Ian who's gone in the book. That is completely deliberate. I mean, it almost turns into a great assist for Luis Diaz. I think the fact that there are other defenders back there has probably saved Ian. Just the yellow.
Yeah, Jim Cheethy is really close to it. Ian, as he makes that error, the handball, but that is, again, last ditch. It's nerves at the back for Atalanta, and it's good play from Liverpool.
So free kick to Liverpool, 30 yards out, dead central position. Can they find a way to get this second goal just before half-time? If they do, Stephen Warnock, the complexion of the tie will feel completely changed.
Yeah, not a bad person to have stood over this free kick, is it? Trent Alexander-Arnold. He's just been magnificent in this first half, and they will be, I mean, it's a long way out. What would you say it is, Vicky? Roughly
30 yards, I'd say.
Yeah, and when you look at that, he's got a great opportunity to get it up and down over the wall. The big thing about it now is its pace on the ball. Can he get it up and over with the pace to beat the goalkeeper from 30 yards?
Well, Robertson is there as well, but surely there's only one man taking this for Liverpool, Trent Alexander-Arnold, and just the way he sets that ball down, Even though it's 30 yards, we know he can do it. We've seen him do it before. Robertson's there if they want to send it into the edge of the area. The red shirts are lining up. It's Alexander-Arnold drives it straight into the wall. That did its job, jumped. Robertson picks it up. And now will be played into the area by Jones. Bounces off Luis Diaz. Plays it out to McAllister. Blocks again by Atalanta and then thumped over by Alexander-Arnold into the empty stand away to our right. Empty because the Stadio de Bergamo is currently undergoing some renovations, so that side of the ground, that stands immediately to our right, that one tier is empty, but the other three tiers, I think, rather enjoyed that, apart from that little slice of Liverpool fans just to our right-hand side in the corner.
Well, interestingly, Trent Alexander-Arnold didn't try and get it up or over the wall. He went for power from 30 yards out, struck it with the laces, and that was the decision that he made. And then Liverpool, they kept the ball alive, but wrong decision by Trent Alexander-Arnold at the end as it came out. Wasn't really set for him to make that shot. Lashes it over the bar.
Now, foul given to Atalanta. Cope Miners are still in possession there. They're on the halfway line. I think they might have just preferred to allow Cope Miners to do what he does and continue to run towards the Liverpool defence. And there's no yellow card forthcoming at the moment from our French referee either, as Moranchuk gets back up to his feet. 2 minutes at a time at the end of this first half. Liverpool leading by a goal to nil here in Italy on 5 Live and Radio Merseyside. 3-1 Atalanta still ahead on aggregate. Elsewhere in the Europa League quarter-finals, goalless between Marseille and Benfica on the night. Benfica still 2-1 up on aggregate. The winners of that will play the winners of this tie. Roma 2-0 up against AC Milan, 3-0 on aggregate. And as we've been hearing from Ali, West Ham leading by Leverkusen by a goal to nil, 2-1. The newly crowned German champions lead on aggregate, but West Ham making a real decent fist of the performance so far as the ball is cleared away by Atalanta right into the press box away to our left. In fact, I think that's the executive boxes down to our left. We did see they've got some rather nice sandwiches in there, Stephen Warnock, but we restrained ourselves as we walked past.
I think that was the smell I could smell before. Incredible.
Here goes Moranchuk, good run down the left-hand side, well defended in the end by Canate. And Alisson will play it out to Virgil van Dijk on the edge of the penalty area. He was Curtis Jones, plays it back to Van Dijk. Jurgen Klopp comes once more to the edge of that very small dotted technical area, clasping his hands behind his back in his red and grey jacket and that black cap. The ball bounces out of play for an Atalanta throw. How do you think he'll assess this first half overall? They lead by a goal to nil, 3-1, they still trail on aggregate.
I think what he would have wanted more than anything was a Jurgen Klopp performance from his team, and a team performance that so often this season has got them results. And you look at the last couple of games, that hasn't been a Liverpool team, that hasn't been a Jurgen Klopp team performance. Tonight, that has been that. I think the one thing he'll say at half-time is just clean up those sloppy passes, make sure that you're not giving Atalanta anything to give them confidence about, and you can go on and win this game.
Maybe, if they get a chance in the next 60 seconds, find that precious goal as the whistle goes. No chance. There we go, the 2 minutes at a time are played. Well, it was the perfect start for Liverpool in this game. The early penalty from Salah after Ruggieri's handball. But they have kept it to 1-0 Atalanta, and it is their fans who are raising their voices once more, and those blue and white flags are waving as the players make their way to that white tunnel that's been extended out towards the pitch in the corner away to our left. Atalanta 0, Liverpool 1 on the night, 3-1, Atalanta still lead on aggregate.
And we'll be back in Bergamo in just a second, but let's get back to Lille. Aston Villa victorious on penalties through to the semi-finals of the UEFA Conference League. Charlie Slater's been watching for us, and Emi Martinez once again, for good and bad, made it all about him.
My goodness me, I feel like I've played that game. Even by this season's level of European drama, that was something to behold. Just like he poked and taunted the French national team in the World Cup final for Argentina, Martinez at it again in Lille. He saved the first and last Lille penalties, was booked during the shootout for his usual antics, and having been booked in normal time, his teammates thought he was off when he was booked again. I think we all did. Turns out there's a new rule for us to all know. Yellow cards don't carry into the shootouts, which meant he could take centre stage again. The two captains had the final penalties. Douglas Luiz scored his. Martinez then saved Benjamin Andres. And Villa are through to a first European semi-final since the year they won the European Cup in 1982. That, a remarkable night in France. On the night, Lille 2, Villa 1, on aggregate 3-3, and on penalties, Lille 3, Villa 4.
And we still don't know who they're going to play in the semi-finals, but it will be either Olympiacos or Fenerbahce. So two remarkable atmospheres that Villa fans who can travel away will get to experience. Charlie, thank you very much. Aston Villa then through. What a remarkable hour and a bit it's been, Stephen Warnock, because we were talking, right, you were in the middle of an answer, and at that point Villa were 2 minutes away from going out. West Ham were 2-0 down on aggregate, and Liverpool were 3-0 down on aggregate. And here we are.
I love football. Just great, isn't it? I mean, this is what we all thought tonight is that Liverpool wouldn't be able to come to Atalanta and cause them, well, we thought we'd cause them problems, but we were wondering what type of Liverpool would turn up tonight. Could West Ham topple Bayer Leverkusen tonight? Could they find a way back into the game after their successes in the Bundesliga and after the result away in Leverkusen? And I'm just delighted for Villa, really am, because that was not an easy tie. It's not easy to come off the back of the euphoria of beating Arsenal at the Emirates of the weekend. I think people are not they're taken away how much that took out of the Aston Villa team. Then to go and travel away and to put in a performance where you've got to dig deep, you need big players to come up trumps, and you look at Martinez and he's done that. It's absolutely brilliant. I mean, what a night of football so far. Listen, Steve, you could speak to me after the game and it could be the other way where we're all stood here going, what a terrible night for English football, but we've got hope, and it's the hope that kills us at times.
In a moment, I promise, I will let you go and investigate the wonderful smelling sandwiches that you've mentioned 4 times in commentary. We get it, you're hungry, but just before you do, I think, it'd be easy to get carried away for anyone who's taking in all of these games at the same time with us, because there's so much drama that's being happened. What we should say is Atalanta, because of their threat on the counter-attack as well, they're still favourites, considerable favourites at this point. They've got to be.
They should be. What I'd say is, though, and I mentioned it in commentary, is it's Liverpool switching off at times with the passing and being lazy with the passing, and the passes that are square in midfield, and that is what you're waiting for as an opposition midfielder, is to wait for that square pass, pounce on that. Then you've suddenly got players out of positions, and it's very easy to counter-attack in them situations, because then you will naturally outnumber the opposition, and that's what they've done to Liverpool on a couple of occasions. If Liverpool clean that up, they'll dominate this game, and they've dominated it as well, but they'll give them fewer opportunities.
Remember, Benfica or Marseille await in the semi-finals here if Liverpool were to be able to get through. That's currently Marseille 0, Benfica 0 at half-time in the Velodrome. So as it stands, it will be Atalanta obviously going through to face Benfica, but there's plenty of time for that to change. Stephen and Vicki, thank you very much for the time being. David Moyes is on the move. Half-time whistle at the London Stadium. Ali.
West Ham 1, Leverkusen 0 at half-time, so Leverkusen still lead 2-1 on aggregate. I don't think they know what's hit them this evening, though. West Ham have been absolutely brilliant, relentless, high energy in this first half. They've completely smothered them, got their goal early through Michail Antonio's header, pinpoint cross from Jared Bowen, and not only could they be level, they could be ahead. The goalkeeper Matej Kovar has made a couple of good saves from Mohamed Kudus, a Jared Bowen volley at the far post. Edson Alvarez had a curling shot, I'm sure that was destined for the back of the net. Michail Antonio accidentally blocked that. Lucas Fabianski, Danny Gabidon, made one save early in the game, a really important save, full stretch to deny Nathan Teller. But West Ham fans inside this stadium, I mean, A, must be absolutely delighted with this performance, and B, are probably thinking, I'd like to see a little bit more of this.
I was just going to say that, Alistair. There'll be a lot of West Ham fans who will watch that first half and they'll be saying, why do we not play like this every single week? They've been superb. They've made one of the best teams in Europe in Leverkusen look very, very ordinary. And it's been from playing positive, being on the front foot, pressing high. We wondered how they'd go about things tactically, being 2-0 down. They've done exactly the right thing. They've gone after Leverkusen. They've snapped into tackles. They've made it hard for Leverkusen to play out. They've forced loads of mistakes. I've never seen Leverkusen give the ball away so much, and they've created good chances, got the ball into wide areas, crossed into the box, and they've looked really vulnerable. This could easily be 2-2 on aggregate, 3-2 to West Ham. The question is, can they keep this up in the second half? Because if they can't, Leverkusen can come back into this game and possibly pick them off. But they've been superb.
Yeah, the running that the likes of James Ward-Prowse, Mohamed Kudus, Jarrod Bowen, I mean, every single player Thomas Souček out there has done so far. It's a good question that Danny raises there. Can West Ham keep that intensity up all the way through? Bit of ill feeling as well, Steve. We saw a dust-up really in the technical area between the two sets of coaching staff. I think it was Billy McKinley who was shown the red card, part of the West Ham coaching team. And while that was going on off the field, the referee lost control of things on the field as well. Mikhail Antonio got into a bit of an altercation with Jonathan Tah. They started sort of wrestling, pushing, shoving, and then every single player got involved in that. It was a massive, it wasn't a brawl, but it was just a huddle of like 22 players just grabbing, pushing, shoving. Eventually the referee got control and gave a yellow card to Antonio and Tah. But I tell you what, this is ready to go in the second half. The stadium is absolutely jumping, and West Ham have been superb. They lead 1-0 at half time, but they're 2-1 down on aggregate.
They have been superb, Danny, and so I'm not in any way, shape or form trying to take away anything from that West Ham first half performance, but Leverkusen have been dreadful by their own incredibly high standards.
They have. They look really lethargic. They look like they've struggled to cope with the intensity of West Ham, the physicality of West Ham, and they haven't enjoyed it. There's been challenges in midfield. Yes, some have been fouls, and even the Leverkusen coaching staff, you can see they're riled, they're frustrated. They don't like what's kind of going on, and they've not dealt with that first half well at all. They've not really looked to attack either. It's been really kind of subdued for them, lacked a bit of energy. I don't know if maybe the events on the weekend, obviously winning the Bundesliga title,
100%.
possibly something to do with that, but the tempo of their play has been very different to what West Ham have been doing, and they've struggled to cope with it.
The other thing from team selection point of view, Steve, Xabi Alonso made 3 changes tonight. One which sort of made us kind of raise an eyebrow was Edmund Tapsoba, the regular centre-back, was taken out, and Odilon Kosunu started. Danny, you said within 10 minutes they're going to have to get him off.
He's coming off.
And he has been. He was taken off before the half hour.
Shocker. He was giving the ball away. Antonio was causing him problems, and had to bring him off. He had no other choice really. And we were a little bit surprised that he started the game anyway. Yeah. But he hasn't been the only one. Wirtz has lost the ball. They've looked nervy. The goalkeepers look nervy in possession as well. And that's down to West Ham and how they've gone about the game. But as I said, can they keep that at second half? Because they're not used to playing this way. So if the energy levels drop, that's the danger for me. But they've done everything they needed to do in that first half. They've been brilliant, and they've given themselves a chance.
So West Ham won Leverkusen 0, but they trailed 2-1 on aggregate. They will play, whoever wins that tie, the winners of Roma versus Milan. Roma lead Milan 2-0 at half-time. 3-0 on aggregate. The other scores: Atalanta 0, Liverpool 1-3-1 on aggregate. Second half commentary to come. Winners of that tie play Marseille or Benfica. 0-0 on the night. Benfica are 2-1 up. Aston Villa will play the Fenerbahce or Olympiacos in the Conference League semi-finals. Fenerbahce 1-0 up at half-time, 3-3 on aggregate. The other tie is PAOK 0, Club Brugge 2. That's 3-0 on aggregate at half-time in that game. Right, we'll talk a little bit of cricket. We'll hear a clip from the No Balls Cricket podcast, and we'll back to the live golf as well after the news on 5 Live with Fraser.
Listen on BBC Sounds. This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
Thanks, Steve. Good evening. The former chief executive of the Scottish National Party, Peter Morrell, has been charged in connection with the embezzlement of funds from the party. A report will be sent to the Crown Office and Procurator Fiscal Service. Mr Morrell is no longer in custody. The police investigation is ongoing. Meanwhile, the Scottish Government has abandoned its pledge to cut greenhouse gases by 75% by the end of this decade, but insists it's still committed to reaching net zero by 2045. Friends of the Earth Scotland branded the change in policy the worst environmental decision in the history of the Scottish Parliament. A man who spent 17 years in prison after being wrongly jailed for rape has been offered an unreserved apology by the body responsible for investigating miscarriages of justice. Andy Malkinson, who spent years protesting his innocence, said the apology was too little, too late. Here's our Home and Legal Affairs correspondent Dominic Kashani.
This is the first time that Helen Pitcher, the chair of the Criminal Cases Review Commission, has apologised to Andy Malkinson, who was exonerated by the Court of Appeal last July. He'd pleaded 3 times with the miscarriage's body to help him prove his innocence, but on the first 2 occasions it failed to look at exonerating DNA evidence linking the attack to another man. In a statement, Helen Pitcher said it was clear from a sobering report written by an independent barrister, Chris Henley KC, that the Commission had failed Mr Malkinson.
And the head of the United Nations, Antonio Guterres, has given a bleak assessment of the war in Gaza, warning there could be a full-scale regional conflict. Alluding to Iran's attack on Israel and the Israelis' expected response, he's called for restraint on all sides.
This is 5 Live Sport with Steve Crossman.
On 5 Live. Listen on BBC Sounds.
Let's get back to the opening round of the first women's major of the year, the Chevron Championship in Texas. The world number 1, Nelly Korda, is out on course. Correspondent Ian Carter can tell us how she's getting on.
Bidding for that famous 5 wins in a row. It's been a quiet start, really, Steve. A drop shot on her opening hole, the 10th, and then 3 pars followed. Then she picked up a birdie. So she is now 6 holes into her opening round and at level par in a share of 40th place with, among others, Charlie Hull, who dropped a shot at the first, picked it up again at the second. And Lottie Woad, the recent winner of the Augusta National Women's Amateur, the Farnham Amateur in the field, making her major debut and getting off to a pretty decent start. Those players at level par are 6 shots off the lead. That continues to be held by the American Lauren Coughlin, who was round in a very impressive 66 today. The defending champion Lilia Vu, by the way, has pulled out because of her ongoing back problems.
The ECB have announced today that 8 counties will host professional women's teams as part of a multi-million-pound shake-up of the domestic structure from 2025. Let's bring in Test Match Specials Henry Moran. Who's happy and who isn't, Henry?
Good evening, Steve. Well, yeah, we're seeing this change away from the current 8-team structure that uses county hubs without official named alignment to the counties themselves. So from next year, we'll have 8 counties, all with women's teams. There'll be professional squads, increased funding, the hope that it'll increase to 12 sides by 2029. Now, each of these counties had to bid to host a side. It says quite a lot about the value of the women's game that all bar 2 of the 18 first-class counties wanted to be chosen. Now, there have been some quite significant counties missing out, not least Yorkshire and Glamorgan, who are hosts of the 100 as well. So counties that have quite a big link to the women's game. Yorkshire were pretty frustrated as well. A statement today saying they were surprised and disappointed. They've spoken about women's cricket being a cornerstone of the county's work to become the most welcoming and inclusive cricket club in the country. Yorkshire unhappy, but there are 8 counties that are very pleased to be welcoming women's county cricket from next year.
Remind us why all of this is happening.
For a number of reasons, not least simplification, I think. Even those within the game struggled at times to keep up with teams that were called things like the Blaze or Sunrises, whose names weren't necessarily geographically specific. And also, as we've seen across particularly women's football with the WSL, there are huge benefits for all concerned to have a united brand across clubs. Now, there's room to grow as well. There's going to be 3 tiers, increased funding, and by the end of the decade, the hope is 80% more professionals than we see today.
So what's going to happen next then? I mean, is there any process for counties who haven't got a team to complain about it, or is this how it's going to be?
This is how it's going to be, and then in 2 years' time, we're going to see Yorkshire and Glamorgan added to make it 10 teams. The ambition is that by the end of the decade, it'll be 12 teams, and so there is going to be a growth. There is also a question, I suppose, in all of this as to where it leaves the overall structure of domestic cricket, and all of those questions around the 100 and that sort of thing, because there are counties like Gloucestershire and Sussex that have real links with women's international cricket from having hosted them in years gone by, who'll be feeling, well, we haven't got 100 teams, we've not got a women's team to align to our men's county team. Where does this leave us in the overall picture? So there are those questions to ask, but the ambition is, by the end of the decade, it'll be 12 sides, and growth is absolutely the name of the game. In terms of funding, up to £19 million per year by 2027.
Henry, thank you very much. Let's hear what Kate Cross and Alex Hartley think about the changes. They're speaking on the latest episode of the No Balls Cricket Podcast.
I'm excited for it, like genuinely excited for it.
I am, and it's a lot of investment, and I think it's going to give counties the opportunity to get sponsorships, investment. You know, you're not as reliant on the ECB. It's going to be more from the counties and how much effort they're putting in. And I think we're seeing at Thunder firsthand how much of a difference all that stuff's making, because I think Lancashire have been really pushing our investment, etc.
Because we went from like winning no games to like 4.
But what I will say is it keeps changing. Every 4 years there's been something different, and I think if I wasn't heavily invested in women's cricket, I would find it all so confusing. What they're doing now, they've got to stick with.
They are simplifying it, and they cannot go back to complicating it. So I'm all for it, because when people ask me who I play for, I've always said Lancashire.
It's easier, isn't it? And we wear the red rose on our shirt, and the only time we have the Thunder logo is when we actually have kit on.
Yeah.
That is going to change now. Our training kit is changing, but it's changed every single year. So hopefully, like you said, this has simplified it. It might bring more fans into cricket, because we've seen with the 100 that if you follow Manchester or Superchargers, whoever it is, you follow the men and the women generally. So hopefully that might bring some fans into the women's game as well.
And you can hear that podcast right now on BBC Sounds. We'll keep you up to date with West Ham 1, Leverkusen 0. West Ham still 2-1 down on aggregate in the Europa League quarter-final second leg. During commentary of Atalanta 0, Liverpool 1. Could they still do it? Vicki Sparks.
Thank you very much. Yes, welcome back to Northern Italy. Welcome back to the Stadio di Bergamo, where Atalanta are about to get us underway in the second half. And I'm just going to step back up into my box here, because we're able to stand up where we are in the press box here. We're right level with the edge of the penalty area, but there is a very diligent cameraman away just to our left. And I'm not blessed with height, Stephen Warnock, so engineer Steve has very kindly lent me one of his kit boxes. So
I'm not either.
Yeah, I'm taller than you.
So don't think that you're very tall because you're taller than me. I'm not the tallest.
So Atalanta get us underway in this second half, as Steve has just reminded us. Liverpool leading by a goal to 0 on the night. Atalanta 3-1 up still on aggregate after that outstanding showing at Anfield in the first leg, as Trent Alexander-Arnold clears away. No changes for either side at half-time. We'll run you through the teams in a moment. Liverpool leading on the night through that early Mohamed Salah penalty inside the opening 7 minutes. Can they get off to a bright start in this second half? It's cleared away by Atalanta. Liverpool pick it up once more with the captain Van Dijk, and now sent forward by Canate, intercepted by Sead Kolasinac, the former Arsenal man, and sent forward long by Ruggieri over on that far side, all the way through to Alisson. The ball goes all in dark green. Alisson back from injury and starting in this game, even though Kelleher, when Alisson has been fit this season, has been the starting Europa League goalkeeper. Just shows you how seriously Jurgen Klopp is taking the possibility of pulling off another great European comeback in Liverpool's history. Alisson in possession, so let's take you through the teams. Atalanta with Musso in goal, the back three of Jimshiti, Hien and Kolasinac. Ahead of them, Zappacosta, Derone, the captain, Edison and Ruggieri, whose handball gave away that early penalty. Cope Miners is behind Moranchuk and Skamaka, who got a brace in the first leg, the former West Ham man up front. Here come Liverpool, all in red. Ball forward by Alexander-Arnold, too much on it. And Robertson it was, he'd made the run from left back through the centre, and it's all the way through with Musso. So Alisson in goal for Liverpool. The back four of Alexander-Arnold, Canate, Van Dijk and Robertson. Ahead of them, Szoboszlai, McAllister and Jones. With Salah, who scored from the spot and missed another huge chance as well, dinking a one-on-one wide. Gakpo and Diaz up top. As Kolasinac under pressure from Gakpo over on that left-hand side, does well, marshals it, and wins the throw for Atalanta, who are playing in their dark blue shirts, their black shorts and their black socks from left to right in this second half. Now, before this game, Jurgen Klopp was asked about the comeback against Barcelona in 2019 when Liverpool lost that first leg 3-0, won the second leg 4-0 at Anfield. He was asked what he would say to the players before this game, and he did recall that famous team talk he gave. I remember I said, if we fail, let's do it in the most beautiful way. This is exactly how I see this game again, as Atalanta have a throw midway through the Liverpool half on the left-hand side. What do you think his message would have been at half-time, Stephen Warnock?
I think it would have been to start this second half the way you started the first. Make it very, very difficult. Try and suffocate Atalanta as much as you can. Every time that they try and pick the heads up, be in the faces, but then have quality on the ball and make sure that you pick out those passes when given the opportunity to.
At the moment, it's Atalanta doing that to Liverpool as they come down the left-hand side, and they've won a corner off Canate as well. Luis Diaz on the edge of the penalty area raises his hands in frustration. Diaz, incidentally, he was booked in the first half for dissent after Hien picked up a yellow card for a very deliberate handball, stopped the ball going through to Diaz. The Liverpool players were asking for a straight red, denial of an obvious goal-scoring opportunity. There were other Atalanta defenders back. I think that's what saved Hien, but it was as obvious a handball as you'll see. As Edison picks up this short corner, it's now swung high across the penalty area. Poor delivery, bounces out of play for a Liverpool throw. They've done that a little bit too often, Atalanta, haven't they? Those deliveries right across the box.
Awful, really poor. Big opportunity to put quality into the box. They go short, they work that bit well, then overhit the ball into the box, and it's Miranchuk who overhits it. Wasteful, very wasteful.
Long forward from Robertson, headed away by Kolasinac. Up to the left-hand side, and Ruggieri, who dinks it over Alexander-Arnold. Here was Skamaka, chests the ball down, brought down nicely as well. Cope Miners lays it off to Miranchuk, miscontrol, but he still has it. Out to the right now, and Zappacosta, another little miscontrol, but still has it again. Ball into the area, missed by Skamaka and Cope Miners, and now steered towards goal by Edison. It's tamed the shot in the end from the edge of the penalty area, straight down the throat of Alisson. But again, so many blue shirts in there, and they almost got in each other's way.
Well, they did, and that was the big problem. So often in the first game at Anfield, Zappacosta caused Liverpool problem after problem down that right-hand side, and he did it again here. The first opportunity he's really had to get forward, pulls the ball into the box, and then it was almost that everyone wanted to try and finish the opportunity, and they all clashed, the Atalanta players, much to the... I think they were very thankful, the Liverpool players. They were just delighted that they clashed.
The noise rises once more around the Stadio di Bergamo as the blue and white flags away to our left. The goal that Liverpool are attacking in the second half wave once more as Jim Sheety is penalised for a foul on Cody Gakpo, and Liverpool have a free kick on the left-hand side just inside their own half. So elsewhere in the Europa League quarter-finals, West Ham against Bayer Leverkusen underway in the second half as well. They lead still, West Ham, by a goal to nil on the night. Bayer Leverkusen 2-1 up on aggregate as Curtis Jones goes down and wins a free kick pretty much in exactly the same area, just inside the Liverpool half. Still goalless between Marseille and Benfica on the night. Benfica leading by 2-1 on aggregate. The winners of that tie will play the winners of this tie in the semi-finals. And Roma still leading AC Milan 2-0 on the night, 3-0 on aggregate. Oh, big mix up at the back here, and Atalanta just about get away with it. Jim Sheety trying to head it back to his goalkeeper Juan Musso, who had come, wasn't expecting that header from Jim Sheety. It goes past him, but before Liverpool can latch onto it, Atalanta get the bodies back and manage to clear. Almost a complete shambles at the back from Atalanta, Stephen Warnock.
Well, I don't think Jim Sheety tries to head it back, Vicky. I think what happens is he's got his eyes on the ball and it just dinks off the top of his head, goes past Musso. And that was nearly a calamitous occasion from Atalanta. Lovely.
Here come Liverpool. Nice work down the right-hand side. Alexander-Arnold into the penalty area, claiming the corner off Edison. And he'll get it as well. Liverpool lead 1-0 on the night. 3-1 they still trail on aggregate here on 5 Live and BBC Merseyside.
We talked about players needing big games and big game players. Trent Alexander-Arnold has been that tonight. You can see what this means to him. Lovely marauding run down that right-hand side. That has earned Liverpool a corner in the 6th minute of this second half.
So Alexander-Arnold with this corner, he's got Jones there as the short option, but he now moves away as Alexander-Arnold raises his left hand in the air. It's flicked away by Kolasinac out of the penalty area, picked up by Szoboszlai, who fizzes the ball out to the right, and Alexander-Arnold once more. Miranchuk's there with him. Alexander-Arnold ball in with the outside of his boot, cleared away by Atalanta. Alexander-Arnold picks it up again, sent it back in, but once more the blue shirts clear up to the halfway line, and Andy Robertson, and now Jones picks it up on the right-hand side. McAllister sends it back once more all the way to Alisson, and Liverpool have possession and will build from the back once again. A reminder, if you're just joining us, what a night for Aston Villa, through to their first European semi-final since 1982 after beating Lille on penalties in the Europa Conference League. 2-1 on the night it finished to Lille. 3-3 on aggregate as Liverpool bring it down the right-hand side, and Szoboszlai, but they've given it away, and here comes Edison, picked up by Liverpool, and they'll steer it all the way back to Alisson, who takes a little bit of a chance at the end of his penalty area, closed down by Cope Miners, cleared away in the end by Virgil van Dijk, sent forward by Ruggieri, only as far as McAllister, still inside his own half. The Argentinian, and forward now to Salah, who scored Liverpool's 1 goal on the night from the spot. Lovely Lay off by Szoboszlai. Jones almost runs into a wall of blue, but does retain possession. Out to the right once more, and Salah. Here is McAllister. Nice build-up play this from Liverpool. It's patient. They need 2 more goals on the night, but they know there's only 8 minutes gone in this second half. Plenty of time to get them. Here is Gakpo, laid off by Szoboszlai. Diaz will reach it down by the byline. Little back heel to Gakpo. This is lovely stuff from Liverpool. Can they find the end product? Ball in from Gakpo. Deflection. Musso claims and drops to his knees on the penalty spot.
Yeah, really good movement from Gakpo and Diaz, trying to interchange their positions to be able to get on the ball and find space, and just the ball from Gakpo deflected into the arms of Musso. Now it's about, can you up that tempo, Liverpool? Can you start to find better passes and get players on the ball who can affect this game?
Header forward from Canate. Gakpo knew he was offside, so let Diaz deal with it. It's dinked forward by Martin de Roon, the Atalanta captain. Only as far as Canate, who sends it forward once again. Diaz head down, will chase. Jim Sheety is racing as well. Diaz just loses out to Jim Sheety, but allows Jim Sheety to take that touch and then picks it up left-hand side. Luis Diaz for Liverpool, who lead 1-0. 3-1 they trail on aggregate. Salah picks it up. Edge of the penalty area. Finds Diaz on the left-hand side. He's blocked off by de Roon, and referee says no free kick. No real protest from Diaz. Now there are, as Atalanta clear over the halfway line, and Van Dijk will pick it up and send it to Trent Alexander-Arnold. So elsewhere in the Europa Conference League, Fiorentina through, as Liverpool almost do it. The other end, Gakpo brings the ball down inside the area. Can they get the shot away? Gakpo, Salah, brilliant save, Musso, little ricochet. Liverpool claiming for a penalty. Flag's got up on the far side. We're still playing on. The referee didn't see that, and then the flag eventually goes up over on the far side. Well, that was an interesting one. The assistant on the far side put the flag up. Stephen Warnock, to my right, spotted it. Then he put it down. Play continued. Everything was going on there. Liverpool almost in behind initially with Gakpo. Half appeals for a penalty as well as they go sliding in. There is an offside against Salah, as Musso made a good save from him, and it's the offside that will stand.
They make a real mess of it, Liverpool, because it's a lovely ball from you-know-who, Trent Alexander-Arnold, over to Gakpo, who's broken that line, who's found himself free. And as he chests it down, you think, just lay it into the path of Szoboszlai so he can get a first-time strike on it. And he plays it behind him, and it just ruins the move. And that was really good play from Liverpool. Wasteful. And that is a big problem for Liverpool at the moment.
So Liverpool with the throw, midway through their own half, up towards Luis Diaz. Header is won by Jim Sheety. Ball goes out of play for a Liverpool throw just inside the Atalanta half. So elsewhere in the Europa Conference League, Fenerbahce are leading 1-0 against Olympiacos. That's 3-3 on aggregate. The winners of that will face Aston Villa in the semi-finals. And Club Brugge are leading PAOK Salonika by 2-0 on the night, 3-0 up on aggregate. So Alisson in possession. Liverpool 1-0 up here on 5 Live and Radio Merseyside as Robertson plays the ball forward. Atalanta still leading 3-1 on aggregate in this Europa League quarter-final as Gakpo picks the ball up. He's dispossessed and it's cleared away. Canate with a good interception on the halfway line, and then coming back to challenge Scamacca, and the whistle does go as Scamacca went shoulder to shoulder with Canate, who tumbled to the ground. Liverpool have taken the free kick quickly. The referee Francois Letizier says no, too quickly.
And it's just ruined that attack, and that was a great moment for Liverpool to attack. They were quick, they had switched on, and the way that they went for the attack, and the referee just brought it back at the wrong moment. Poor refereeing.
And they might get another free kick here. They have Liverpool. And a little bit of pushing and shoving. Szoboszlai was fouled, gives de Roon, the Atalanta captain, a little push after that. So Liverpool preparing to take this free kick. Let's head to the London Stadium. Alistair Bruce Ball.
10 minutes gone in the second half. West Ham 1, Leverkusen 0. Leverkusen still lead 2-1 on aggregate. Xabi Alonso, Danny Gabardon made a double change at half-time. Do you think Leverkusen look a bit more comfortable at the start of the second half?
Yeah, a little bit more. I think the energy level's not quite as high start of the second half from West Ham as the first half. They've come into the game and they're controlling possession a little bit better. West Ham still very good though.
So it's all happening at the London Stadium. It's all happening here in Bergamo. We will keep you right up to date with everything. here on BBC Radio 5 Live and Radio Merseyside. But decent chance that for Van Dijk.
Yeah, it was, and it was a lovely ball, floated him. It gave him the opportunity to go and attack it. I felt like he almost just got up a little bit too early, and it just took the pace out of the header. He wasn't really able to get much power behind it, which was a real shame.
And Musso was there, and you can tell in this second half, can't you, Stephen? Atalanta are just starting to take as much time as possible over these restarts as they send the throw over the halfway line.
Yeah, well, that's one thing. You asked me what Jurgen Klopp would do in the second half, what he'd have asked his players to do, and that is one thing that Atalanta will do in this second half. They'll frustrate Liverpool. They'll try to commit fouls. They'll try and slow the game down as much as possible, because Liverpool had a rhythm in the first half, and it's all about trying to slow that rhythm down.
Here is Van Dijk. He's closed down by Moranchuk, but Liverpool do work it up towards the halfway line. Good foot in by Ederson, but then fires it straight off his own defender, Jim Sheety, who then put his hands down very quickly next to his side, didn't he, to make sure he didn't concede a handball there off a ball from his own teammate as the ball is out of play for a Liverpool throw.
Well, Gasperini is just saying to his players, calm down, relax on the ball. They're lashing at it, kicking it against their own players. It's the absolute opposite to what we saw last week at Anfield, where they were all so calm on the ball. They enjoyed the occasion, they made the most of it. But this is the pressure that you're playing in this second leg.
Here they come down the right hand side. Canate goes down and wins another free kick over on that far side, and Liverpool in possession will send it forwards once more. Liverpool leading 1-0 on the night. Salah's penalty after 7 minutes. 3-1 Atalanta still lead on aggregate as Gakpo plays it forward, and you wonder at what point Jurgen Klopp will turn to his bench as Liverpool turn their thoughts to defending, because Zappacosta is coming down the right hand side for Atalanta. Lovely turn, Cope Miners, edge of the area, low shot straight at Alisson. Lovely play.
Lovely play again, and it comes from that right hand side from Zappacosta, but poor play from Cody Gakpo. Probably not the best of runs from Andrew Robertson. He runs past Cody Gakpo and he's not really got anywhere to go. Puts him in a little bit of trouble, and Atalanta capitalise on that.
Here come Liverpool though. Luis Diaz on the halfway line as Alexander-Arnold has an option ahead of him. It goes back to Szoboszlai, and now McAllister picks it up once more just outside the centre circle. Plays it to the right hand side, and Canate on the halfway line as the Stadio de Bergamo is bouncing once again. Behind that goal away to our left, the blue and white flags emblazoned with the crest of Atalanta are flying. What a huge result this would be for them as they try to keep Liverpool at bay in this tie. They're trailing 1-0 on the night, Atalanta, but they still lead 3-1 on aggregate against Jurgen Klopp's men. As Martin de Roon wins that ball away from Cody Gakpo, who has stayed down, referee uninterested as Ederson miscontrols, but it will come through to Scamacca. Referee then didn't get out of the way of Moranchuk, and he's spreading his arms and saying, look, sorry about that, ball didn't touch me, so it's not going to be a turnover of possession, but it's really not helped out Atalanta at all, the referee, as Liverpool come forward. Misread by Salah, that ball over the top. Atalanta though haven't really completed the clearance, and Salah has it just outside the D. Good foot in from Kolasinac, and now it might break from Moranchuk. Over he goes, over the halfway line, up against Canate. 5 red shirts back there to defend. Little 1-2 with Ederson, lovely. Ederson towards the area, fitted by McAllister. Throw to Atalanta.
Brilliant from McAllister. Real understanding of where to be on the pitch, sensing danger. But Mohamed Salah has to do better. Back to goal, not strong enough. Get hold of the ball, bring others into play. Poor play from Mohamed Salah.
16 minutes gone in this second half. Less than half an hour plus added time to play. Liverpool need 2 goals. Can they draw on the spirit of those European comebacks that we've seen throughout the years? They got off to the perfect start. They were ahead inside 7 minutes, but that is the only goal so far, and it won't be good enough as Atalanta come forward. Liverpool get a foot in inside their own penalty area, and Alisson will clear long. Header is won by Jim Sheety ahead of Luis Diaz, and Atalanta send it forward again, and here is Zappacosta inside the penalty area. Little stumble, well challenged.
I can't believe he didn't go down. Van Dijk made contact, and I'm thinking you could go down. He doesn't, he's too honest.
It's Canate who gets the foot in to clear the ball away, but as you say, risky one. They will look at it, VAR. Players will say, well, if VAR's working, we shouldn't have to go down. We're playing on for now. Atalanta in possession. Cope Miners down the left-hand side. He's done brilliantly. Is then challenged. Won't quite ricochet for Scamacca, but Atalanta have it again. De Roon, the captain, intercepted. Out to the left-hand side. Ruggieri with the high delivery, and Alisson comes and claims right in front of Moranchuk, and this time he rolls the ball out underarm, and Curtis Jones picks it up. There's not been a stoppage in play, so VAR can still be having a look at that penalty shout. We'll see when it does stop as Curtis Jones plays it out to the left-hand side for Liverpool, who lead 1-0 here on BBC Radio 5 Live and BBC Radio Merseyside. They trail 3-1 on aggregate. Space for Alexander-Arnold. Out on the right-hand side, up against Ruggieri. Alexander-Arnold fizzes the ball into the penalty area, cleared away by the head of Derone. Alexander-Arnold picks it up once again. And now McAllister, who slows the game to walking pace and lays it off to Alexander-Arnold once more. Plays it to the edge of the area. Salah, under pressure, has the Bozai as an option. So Bozai plays it forward, cleared away by Jim Sheety, stretching on the edge of the box. And Liverpool have it once more with Van Dijk, edge of the centre circle, out to the left. He's touched by Diaz. Atalanta almost pounced to Moranchuk, but Van Dijk picks it up once more. And here's Konate, Stephen Warnock.
Yeah, I think Jurgen Klopp's about to roll the first dice and pick a substitute. Looks like Diogo Jota could potentially be coming on. I wondered how long it'd take him to make a change.
Ball into the area from Jones, is cleared away by Atalanta.
Just waits for Liverpool on the edge of the box there. Curtis Jones, just take your time, pick the right pass. So you've got Atalanta backed up right onto the edge of the box.
As Stephen says, Jota is preparing to come on as Alisson has it just outside his own penalty area. Jota, who scored a hat-trick the last time Liverpool were here. This is only the fourth game between these sides in their history. In their first ever meeting, Liverpool won 5-0 here in the Champions League group stages back in November 2020, but it's 2 wins out of 2 for Atalanta at Anfield.
Yeah, and it's a double change as well. Darwin Núñez is also coming on now, so it'll be interesting to see who the personnel is, who will be changed, whether it'll be Gakpo and Diaz, or whether it'll be Mohamed Salah again, who was replaced in the first leg.
Ball just over the head of Luis Diaz as Atalanta clear away, and now they're off on the counter. The ball is dinked forward to Moranchuk, edge of the D, plays it to Koeman, has just sent him wide. Out of the penalty area he goes to retrieve the ball, left-hand side, as Atalanta pick it up once more. It's blocked away by McAllister. Ruggieri with the strike, the left wing back getting involved as Atalanta pick it up once again. They are causing Liverpool some problems in the last couple of minutes, and they're enjoying some possession as well. It's going to be a triple change. In fact, Harvey Elliott is coming on for Liverpool as well as the ball goes out of play. Will they make it now? Jurgen Klopp is still delaying. No, there you go. The checked yellow and red flag is up on the far side, and here comes the change, the triple change for Liverpool. So the first player off, Luis Diaz, is replaced by Diogo Jota. Mohamed Salah is coming off for Darwin Núñez. That is a big call from Jurgen Klopp, and Szoboszlai is replaced by Harvey Elliott. Well, what do we read into that triple change, Stephen Warnock? Not just for this game, but the context of what Liverpool have coming up for the rest of the season.
Well, I just think he needed something different, and Salah hasn't really performed at the highest level, which we know he can do. He's been, I commented before about his hold-up play. It was poor at the time, but this is a statement of intent from Jurgen Klopp now. He'll change the shape ever so slightly. Harvey Elliott will move into a more advanced number 10 position. Curtis Jones will sit alongside McAllister, and that'll allow that forward four to progress up the pitch, and let's see how they can affect this game.
Ball cleared forward by Harvey Elliott, looking to link up immediately with his fellow substitute Diogo Jota. Ruggieri won't keep it in. Throw to Liverpool. So, already this evening on 5 Live and Radio Merseyside, Aston Villa through to their first European semi-final since 1982, beating Lille on penalties in the Europa Conference League. West Ham currently still leading by Leverkusen by 1-0 on the night. They're trailing 2-1 on aggregate, West Ham, at the London Stadium in the Europa League quarter-final. And Liverpool here in Bergamo, in northern Italy, in the shadow of the Bergamo Alps, still have this mountain to climb. They need 2 goals, and we're midway through the second half. 1-0 they lead on the night. 3-1 they trail on aggregate as Van Dijk plays the ball forward. Here is Curtis Jones out to the left-hand side, and Darwin Núñez. Jota through the centre, Gakpo as well. Núñez, edge of the penalty area, ran into trouble down on the edge of the box. Cleared away by Hean up towards Zappacosta, the former Chelsea man. Does keep it in. It's gorgeous. He's past Robertson. He was appealing that the ball had gone out, but I don't think it did. And Zappacosta is breezing past McAllister as well. Pulls the ball to the edge of the area, and it is blazing breezed over by Scamacca. Well, he got a brace at Anfield. He was so clinical that night. It's another sweeping move from Atalanta, and Scamacca's got to do better there.
It's a sweeping move from Zappacosta again. He just moves so elegantly across the ground. He just eats it up, and McAllister couldn't keep up with him. Neither could Robertson. He's been a real threat throughout the two games. Zappacosta down that right-hand side for Atalanta.
Good fit in by Kolasinac, and Ruggieri clears the ball downfield. Atalanta will retain possession over on that far side. Decent performance in this second half by Atalanta. They are frustrating Liverpool, and the pressing is there, the tempo is there, and the stadium, if you can hear the noise around us, as I'm sure you can, shows that the belief is there as well. Put in by Cope Miners, and it will bounce to Davide Zappacosta. Plays it to Cope Miners once more, a little bit short, so he just clears over the halfway line, looking for Virgil van Dijk as Gianpiero Gasparini stands on the edge of his technical area. Called this match one of the most important games in their history, if not the most important. This would be a monumental result for them, even though they're losing 1-0 on the night. They're 3-1 ahead on aggregate, Atalanta, to knock out the giants of Liverpool and reach their first UEFA Cup / Europa League semi-final in their history. Gap post delivery across the penalty area. It's poor. It will come all the way through to Alexander-Arnold. His ball back in is miscued and cleared away by Atalanta, but the blue shirts are sitting very deep at the moment. Now they push out as Canate picks it up on the halfway line and steers it back to Alisson. Stephen Warnock.
Yeah, good opportunity there by Trent Alexander-Arnold on the right-hand side, and he tries to hit almost like a side-winding volley. He slices it horribly. It was a good attack from Liverpool. Looks like Liverpool are going to make another change, and it's Joe Gomez who's getting ready. I wonder whether it will be Trent Alexander-Arnold. He's not played much football now. He has looked a little bit more fatigued in this second half.
Yeah, first start in over 2 months after injury, as that clearance is closed down by Cody Gakpo, but spins all the way through to the Atalanta goalkeeper, Juan Musso. Liverpool lead 1-0 on the night. They need 2 more goals, though, just to draw the tie level on aggregate, as that sea of blue raises 20 or 25 blue and white flags behind the goal away to our left. The fans know here at Stadio de Bergamo that time is ticking away for Liverpool.
Well, they were incredible at Anfield, weren't they? And they're quite brilliant tonight as a few flares go up in behind the flags. It's a great spectacle to watch, and I think they've also realised that their team need a little bit of a lift, a little bit of backing, but it's been a good performance from this second half from them.
Alisson is screaming for options. So he looked as almost though he's going to have a toddler temper tantrum there, his body language there on the edge of the D, because his distribution has been great in this game, but the runners weren't there on that occasion.
Well, no, he wanted Darwin Núñez to pick the ball up, but he didn't see it. He hasn't seen it. He's not football intelligent at times, Darwin Núñez. He doesn't see what other players see. He's very reactive in the way that he plays.
20 minutes to play. Liverpool need 2 goals here in Italy on BBC Radio 5 Live and BBC Radio Merseyside, as the ball is all the way through with Juan Musso. Back to the London Stadium. Alistair Bruce Ball.
Still need another goal here. They lead Leverkusen 1-0. Bowen with 1 effort across the face of goal so far in the second half. Danny Gabidon, what are you making of it?
It's much better from Leverkusen. Look, it's taken personnel changes, it's taken a formation change, but it's looking more comfortable for Leverkusen now, starting to control possession better, but just taking the sting out of West Ham. Not too much going on at the minute, still very much in it though.
Yeah, 20 minutes to play. West Ham 1, Leverkusen 0. Leverkusen lead 2-1 on aggregate.
Thank you very much, Ali and Danny. We will keep you right up to date with events there. And you called this substitution, which has just been made. Stephen Warnock, Alexander-Arnold off, Joe Gomez on.
Yeah, there was no complaints from Trent Alexander-Arnold. I think he knew his race was running. He looks a little bit fatigued in that central, in that right back position. But I tell you what, Vicki, he's put some shift in up and down that right flank, and the quality that he's possessed with his passing range has been really, really impressive.
Offside flag is up against Gianluca Scamacca, and Joe Gomez will pick it up over on that far side. Gomez, who incidentally becomes the 28th Liverpool player to make 50 European appearances for the club tonight. Can he keep this European adventure, the last of Jurgen Klopp's Liverpool reign, going? If he and these players are to do so, they need 2 goals as time ticks away in this second half. We have 17.5 minutes plus added time to play. And after getting off to the perfect start, Stephen, that 7th minute penalty from Salah, after dominating the first half, have they lost their way a little bit in this second half?
Yeah, they have. And I go back to that chance that Mohamed Salah had in the first half where he had to just dink it over the goalkeeper, a simple pass, if you like, and he shanked it. He got it horribly wrong, and that was the moment that you thought 2-0 could be huge in the game, and they haven't really created anything of note in this second half, which is very disappointing.
It's a really even game at the moment, and Atalanta are growing in belief. They are growing in confidence as the seconds tick away. They've won a throw over on the far side. It's cleared away. Nunez will chase. Musso's come a long way, steers it into the stands for safety. And Liverpool have a throw just inside the Atalanta half as the smoke from those flares billows across the pitch away to our left, and those blue and white flags continue to wave. And Liverpool continue to probe down this right-hand side, but they've lost that decision. The throw goes the way of Atalanta. And Liverpool players starting to grow a little frustrated as Atalanta make their first change of the night. And it will be a double change as well. Gianluca Scamacca will be replaced by Charlotte de Ketelaere. And Mario Pasalic, who also scored at Anfield, will be coming on. And Ederson is making way.
Yeah, I like Pasalic. I thought he had a really good first game. He missed a big opportunity in the first half, and we wondered how much that might affect Atalanta. Didn't take his opportunity, but he was very, very impressive in that game. But Scamacca's caused problems for the back line. Konate will be delighted to see him leave the pitch, but De Ketelaere, he brings a different dynamic to that forward line. He's not your typical hold-up player. He'll run in behind a little bit more, and he'll give them a different dynamic in attack.
Great team play there from a commentary perspective by Stephen Warnock. We're both wrestling with our stickers as those substitutes come on. I handed it to you, you took it over, and you've managed to stick yours on whilst talking, and I've ripped one of mine in half, and I haven't even been speaking. So we'll see how much I can tell you about Pasalic. Quite a bit. So Ian wins the ball for Atalanta and sends it over to that left-hand side, and De Ketelaere on to try and make an immediate impact, takes it down to the bar line, pulls the ball across, Cope Miners arriving, and the ball goes behind. It will be a Liverpool goal kick. Liverpool, who are running out of time to try and pull off another remarkable European comeback. They're 1-0 up on the night. They need 2 more goals in the final 15 minutes just to take it to extra time.
Yeah, they've got to sort of throw everything at this now. They need to be individually better. They have to take more chances, and they will towards the end of the game. There's still plenty of time in this game to score a couple of goals.
Ball cleared away by Jim Sheety. Aston Villa already through this evening on 5 Live and Radio Merseyside to the Europa Conference League semi-finals, their first European semi-final since 1982. West Ham still lead 1-0 against Bayer Leverkusen at the London Stadium, but they need another goal. Liverpool need 2 here. Nunez picks it up but is dispossessed. Didn't run kindly for Darwin Nunez there. Liverpool almost win it back. Cope Miners sends it out to the left-hand side, and Atalanta will come forward. To Ketelaere, though, loses out, and McAllister has it for Liverpool inside the centre circle. Was he brought down there by Pasalic? Yes, he was. Liverpool free kick. It's taken quickly by Van Dijk because Liverpool cannot afford to waste 1 second of time. They need 2 goals. Robertson plays it in field to McAllister, all the way back to Van Dijk. Forward now to Curtis Jones, and McAllister once again steaming past Cope Miners, who then brings him down, and that's going to be a yellow card for Cope Miners. Robertson was still in possession, but that looked nasty on McAllister there from Cope Miners.
Yeah, Jurgen Klopp's furious because he feels like it's a cynical foul. He goes down his shin, really causes him a problem. McAllister, he's still on the floor. He really felt that one. Oh, it's a nasty one, you know, Vicky. I've just seen it again on the replay, and as he comes down, he steps on McAllister's ankle, and he really catches it underneath him. There's a scream from McAllister, and he's just walking away from Andrew Robertson, hobbling. That is very, very sore. Keep an eye on him.
So Robertson to swing this free kick in, and it is claimed well by Juan Musso. Yeah, it's one of those that the ankle just bends underneath that challenge. I think the fact that it's not that high will save Cope Miners. But if you're looking at, the criteria for potentially endangering an opponent, we do have VAR. It would be a harsh one, particularly to overturn it.
It's not a red card, but it's reckless. Yeah. I mean, he knows it as well, Cope Miners, because he's just sort of gone across to McAllister and given sort of a pat as if to say, I'm sorry about that, I knew it was wrong.
12 and a half minutes to play. Liverpool need 2 goals. As the attendance inside the Stadio de Bergamo is confirmed just under 15,000. It holds 21,000, but with the stand away to our right under development, they're not able to fill it to full capacity, but it is a tight stadium, a close stadium, and the Atalanta fans are raising their voices once more. Can they pull off what, in the words of their manager, could be the most important result in their history? They've only ever won one major trophy. That was the Coppa Italia in 1963 as the whistle goes for a foul by Diogo Jota, and he's fuming. Free kick to Atalanta. And Liverpool are preparing to make their final change.
Yeah, Jayden Danns is ready.
What a moment this is for him.
Yeah, and it's Andrew Robertson who's got. Is it Andrew Robertson who looks like he's going to come off? And they're going to have to do something, Liverpool. They're going to have to be brave in the system that they go for now, in the way that they play. They'll throw Danns up probably alongside Darwin Nunez. It is Robertson who comes off, so he'll go up alongside Darwin Nunez. I'm just trying to work out what they're going to do. We're just waiting to see the system now.
So a European debut for 18-year-old Jayden Danns. He only made his Liverpool debut in February. He's made a handful of substitute appearances, came through their academy. He's been with the club since he was 8 years old.
He's moved Cody Gakpo to left back, and I've seen this before from Jurgen Klopp, where he's actually played Luis Diaz as a left back, and what he wants is he just wants energy down that left hand side. He'll want Cody Gakpo to join in with Diogo Jota, with Darwin Nunez, and make sure he's driving from deep with that quality that he possesses.
Atalanta have made a change as well. The former Everton man Ademola Lookman is on for Alexei Moranchuk as that ball goes out of play for a Liverpool goal kick. 10 minutes to go. Liverpool need 2 goals here on BBC Radio 5 Live and BBC Radio Merseyside. They lead 1-0 on the night. They're 3-1 down on aggregate. Is Atalanta's quite stupendous performance at Anfield going to be enough to see them through to their first Europa League semi-final? They've never reached that stage. They've never reached it in the Champions League. They've done it once in Europe, the Cup Winners' Cup. This would be an almighty result for them. It would lead to wild celebrations here in northern Italy. But can Liverpool do what they have done on so many occasions and provide us with late drama? They're running out of time to do it. Don't put it past them. To the London Stadium, Alistair Bruce Ball.
12 minutes remaining plus added time in this game, and West Ham still looking for another goal to level it up 2-2 on aggregate. Leverkusen have done a better job of containing them in the second half. Kudus just got away on a breakaway, hit a shot from the edge of the box, and it was blocked. West Ham lead 1-0 on the night. They need another goal.
Here's Gomez, sends it back into the penalty area for Alisson. 9 minutes plus added time to play. Stephen Warnock.
Well, they're going to have to change the way they're playing, Liverpool. They're still trying to play out from the back, and they're not really progressing up the pitch like they were in the first half. I mean, give it credit to Gasperini, the way he's changed the tactics, the way that Atalanta have approached this second half. It's been so much better from them.
Here come Liverpool picking up the ball on the right-hand side. Ball into the area from Jota is cleared away by Ruggieri. Yeah, it's been a really different performance in terms of that first leg at Anfield, where Atalanta was simply sublime and had to contend with a woeful Liverpool display. Liverpool have been a lot better. Couldn't have been much worse, but they have been a lot better, particularly in the first half. But they've lost momentum, they've lost tempo in the second half, and Atalanta, again, it's the tempo, it's the pressing, it's the way that he has adapted the tactics and the belief that they have to see this out.
Yeah, I think one of the big things is the impact of the substitutes. It's been non-existent so far. I don't put Jayden Danns into that. I'm saying Jota and Nunez, they've done nothing. They haven't got on the ball, they haven't affected the game, and Harvey Elliott as well.
Long ball forward from Alisson, headed on by Darwin Nunez, but straight to Juan Musso. And again the cheers as the goalkeeper, all in that lemon yellow kit, drops to his knees inside his own penalty area. 8 minutes. 8 minutes plus added time to play here on BBC Radio 5 Live and BBC Radio Merseyside. Would you expect more aggression, more urgency from Liverpool at this stage?
Yeah, I would, but you've got to give credit to Atalanta and their mentality. There's a mentality of don't be the one who lets us down, don't be the one who does something silly, and I think that's exactly what they've done in this second half, to a man. But they haven't created anything in this second half, Liverpool. That's what's been very, very disappointing. The big thing is, though, Vicki, is who's the game changer on the pitch? Who wants to be that game changer now? There's not really many people who've stood up and said, I'll be that player.
And here come Atalanta, the former Everton man, Ademola Lookman, looking to get on the end of that, can't do so. Liverpool send the ball over the halfway line, but it comes straight back at them, and Cope Miners is racing towards Cody Gakpo, fouls Cody Gakpo, according to the assistant who was right there. Cope Miners is fuming. He's really come into this game in the last 20 minutes or so.
Oh, he's put some shift in, hasn't he? He really has. He's closing down, he's ferocious in the way he goes about it. Some energy levels.
Here is Gakpo under pressure as Stadio de Bergamo still gets its head around the award of that free kick. Here is Van Dijk now, plays it infield, but it's Atalanta who are closing down. Atalanta who have the tempo. Atalanta who won't let Liverpool get near the halfway line. Do they just... I hate to say it, but at the moment, the desire to go through, the desire to win this game, it's Atalanta at the moment that are showing it.
Well, they're always going to have the energy levels because they're holding on to a 3-0 lead going into the game. They've still got a 2-0 lead, so they're in a great position. But they haven't let Liverpool players pick the heads up in the second half. Oh, how's he give that, the assistant referee? Jurgen Klopp is furious. I mean, Zappa Costa's just kicked the ball out from under the feet of Diogo Jota, and then he gives a throw to Atalanta. I mean, what is the point in a fourth official being there and the assistant referee? Awful officiating.
Time continues to tick away. 5.5 minutes plus added time to play. Liverpool need 2 goals at the London Stadium. Similar amount of time to go. West Ham need another goal to take it to extra time against Bayer Leverkusen as Gomez plays it down the right-hand side. Darwin Núñez up against Kolasinac. Núñez retains possession. Ball goes out of play. It will be a Liverpool throw. And now this Atalanta crowd are roaring absolutely every decision. The Liverpool fans away in that corner to our right-hand side are watching on nervously as Liverpool have it over on the right-hand side. Dans now picked up by McAllister. Here is Van Dijk on the halfway line, out to the left-hand side, and Cody Gakpo, who tries to work it down this left-hand side. Little foot in from Lookman, will spin out to the left once more, and now Curtis Jones, who plays it back to McAllister. Central position. A wall of blue in front of Liverpool, but they found a little bit of space down this right-hand side. Elliott's delivery takes a little deflection. Musa's underneath it, goes down and claims it. Big chance at the London Stadium. Alistair Bruce ball.
Incredible chance for Jeremy Frimpong to seal the tie for Bayer Leverkusen. They attacked on the counter, clean through one-on-one, blazed the shot over the bar. West Ham still in it. They lead 1-0. They're 2-1 down on aggregate.
Well, we had late drama in the Aston Villa game. Eventually they went through on penalties to the Europa Conference League semi-finals against Lille. Where is the drama going to come in these final few moments on this European night here on 5 Live and BBC Radio Merseyside? Will it be at the London Stadium? Will it be here in Bergamo, where Liverpool need 2 goals? Otherwise, their European journey of Jurgen Klopp's reign will end here in northern Italy in the quarter-finals of the Europa League. Forward now to Diogo Jota, who's come deep to receive the ball, and it goes out of play for a Liverpool throw. Stephen Warnock.
Yeah, they're just putting each other in danger now, but the press from Atalanta, I've got to say, that has changed so much in the second half. There's a real belief in how to close this Liverpool team down, and they haven't given them an inch.
Here is Konate, plays the ball out to the right-hand side, and Gomez well closed down once more by Atalanta, so the ball is all the way back with Alisson. 3 minutes plus added time to go. I tell you what, we were talking about the great European comebacks, those great nights throughout the years for Liverpool, the miracle of Istanbul, Borussia Dortmund, Barcelona. Given how late this game is now, given that they're away from home, given that they need 2 goals in the final 3 minutes plus added time, this is going to be right up there if they do this, Stephen Warnock. There is still time.
There is still time, but it's going to be very, very difficult because there hasn't been many stoppages in the game. There won't be that much time added on, but they're still on the halfway line. Liverpool trying to probe. Well, Atalanta, so well organised. I mean, Alisson's up on his halfway line now, playing out from the back.
They have to go for it.
What are you doing?
But Konate's giving it away, and Alisson is well out of his goal line. But that's a shocking ball forward. Atalanta can't make anything of it. They had to do something there with it, Atalanta. At least retain possession. They haven't done so. That's a let off for Liverpool, who have it on the halfway line once again. Foot in to stop Jota progressing. All the way back to Alisson from Van Dijk, and the Liverpool players are looking around, they're looking for options, they're looking for ideas, because they're running out of time to find them. 2 minutes plus out of time to play. Alisson's ball through the centre, too much on it for the 18-year-old Jadon Dans, and Juan Musso has a chance to take a touch and just allow Dans to close him down. Stephen Warnock.
Yeah, I think there's a sense of it's gone too far now. I think there's hands on heads as that ball was played over the top from Alisson into Jadon Dans, who'd made a clever run, but it was overhit. But they just look out on the feet now, Liverpool. It's almost they've accepted that they're not going to progress.
Is there time for one break before we reach out of time? They need a goal desperately, Liverpool. They need two. One of them has got to come almost immediately. Here is McAllister on the halfway line. There's a celebratory air now to the songs around the Stadio di Bergamo from the Atalanta fans as Harvey Elliott plays the ball to the edge of the area, but it's intercepted, and Atalanta is streaming forward down this right-hand side. They've sent 4 blue shirts up for this attack. One of them is the former Everton man, Ademola Lookman, who is surrounded by red shirts. How he'd love to get on the score sheet, and he's into the penalty area. Might have gone down there, Lookman, was pulled back, keeps it alive, sends it out to the right-hand side, and Zappacosta, and now plays it to Coke Miners, who takes it down to the byline, wins the corner of Van Dijk, who roars in frustration, and Zappacosta raises both arms to the Atalanta fans, who respond right in front of us, waving their blue and white scarves. They know they are nearly there. They know they are on the brink of one of the greatest, if not the greatest, night in their history. They have a corner. All they need to do is keep it by that corner flag as we approach out of time.
That's exactly what they'll try and do, and Zappacosta just trying to run the clock down now.
And he's played it to De Ketelaere. Now Coke Miners into the penalty area. Good feet, Coke Miners. Oh, could have gone down there again. Pulls the ball across, straight into Konate. 2 minutes at a time. Only 2 minutes. And Liverpool have got to score 2 goals. They've won a free kick down by the corner flag. Stephen Warnock.
Yeah, I mean, over the course of the 2 legs, Liverpool have had 1 good half. Atalanta have had 3 good halves. 3 excellent halves, I'd say, and fully deserve to progress from this tie.
To the London Stadium, Ali Booth's ball. Oh, well, one moment, Ali. Diogo Jota's racing forward. He was pulled back there by Zappacosta. He has won a free kick. Coming, Ali.
All over for what? Jeremy Frimpong's deflected shot in the 89th minute has won the tie for Bayer Leverkusen. West Ham all over their opponents in the first half. They've eventually been undone late on in the second half. Frimpong's deflected shot means it's 1-1 on the night, but Leverkusen lead 3-1 on aggregate, and we're nearly in added time.
Heartbreak then, it looks like, for West Ham at the London Stadium. They have to score twice. Liverpool do as well, but they've got 1 minute. This isn't going to be the night unless they can score this. McAllister sends it forward, it's flicked towards goal, and Musso's there, and Musso dives on it, and Atalanta fans around the Stadio di Bergamo celebrate as if the full-time whistle has gone, because they are nearly there.
Yeah, that was the moment that they felt that they'd won this tie. I'm just watching Gasperini, he's out on the touchline, almost conducting this crowd, making sure that they get behind the team. Incredible scenes, great scenes from the Atalanta fans.
30 seconds to play. Jurgen Klopp said before this game, he echoed that message that he gave on that night where they came back against Barcelona. If we fail, let us do it in a beautiful way. It's not been beautiful from Liverpool, it's been much improved, but it hasn't been enough. The first leg damage was done, and they all thought that was the final whistle there. It's a free kick to Atalanta, but it might as well be. It is not going to happen. We're not going to add this to the list. The miracle of Istanbul, those comebacks against Borussia Dortmund, against Barcelona. Liverpool's journey in Europe under Jurgen Klopp is going to come to an end in northern Northern Italy as Atalanta play it down. Lookman's offside, and still we play on these final few seconds.
Yeah, you're going to hear an almighty roar. This ball perhaps will be the last kick of the game from Alisson. The referee wants him to take the free kick further back. He's not intent on taking it too far back, but I think this will be the last kick of the game.
And Alisson now he's been told off again. I mean, okay, let's stay objective here, but anyway, Alisson eventually sends it towards the edge of the penalty area. It's headed away by Atalanta. Jota chests it down for Liverpool as the ball is cleared away. Atalanta fans around us have their heads in their hands. They want the full-time whistle to go. They know that they are heading through. The ball goes out of play. Whistle goes once more. The referee looks at his watch, and there it is! The full-time whistle. Arguably the greatest night ever in Atalanta's history. They have knocked out Liverpool, and there is to be no European comeback in Jurgen Klopp's final season with the club. This story in Europe with Klopp and Liverpool that has had so many memorable nights comes to an end here in Northern Italy in the quarter-finals of the Europa League. It is no Istanbul, it's no comeback against Borussia Dortmund and Barcelona as fireworks go up above the Stadio de Bergamo. That is what this means to Atalanta. Liverpool are out. Stephen Warnock.
Well, quite remarkable scenes in the home end. They're bouncing, the fireworks are going off. Gasperini sprinted onto the pitch. A lovely embrace between the two managers. Huge respect about what both managers have achieved at their clubs. But Gasperini comes out on top against Jurgen Klopp, and they fully deserve it. Atalanta, the best team over the two games.
It finishes in Bergamo. 1-0 to Liverpool on the night, but 3-1 Atalanta progress on aggregate.
Stephen Warnock, we've got through till 10:30 to dissect lots of different things about this game, but for now, those are stunning scenes for a team who more than deserve their place in the semi-finals.
Yeah, they are. I mean, quite brilliant. The flags are being waved. There's probably 20 or 30 flags in that home end. It's a steep stand, and the flares are going off. The fans are delighted in and around us. All the journalists are high-fiving each other. They can't believe what they've seen over the two legs. But as I say, Steve, they fully deserve this victory.
Yeah, they've been absolutely sensational in this tie. Atalanta did all the hard work.